Well, none of them can hide from the truth, yeah. Children have to go back to the roots, yeah. None of them can hide from the truth, yeah. Children have to go back to the roots. I'm telling you now, the truth, the truth. Telling you, yeah, the truth, the truth. You have to go back to the roots, the roots. Go to the roots, to the roots. Yeah, man, you know, this is Benjamin out of the Smiling Coast, West Africa, Gambia, representing for the one and only Abu, the big man you don't know, the Soninke warrior, the man that brings the truth, Soninke warrior, the sign of enlightenment, the Soninke warrior, the righteous and the true African. Abu, reveal the truth to them, you know, no matter how them try run from it, because none of them can hide from the truth, yeah. Yes, we have to dig back the roots, yeah. Fire!
Baby girl love my bop and unlike me too. No roof on my top and my babe see-through. Hating on the pen, don't stop, shit ain't gon' feed you. I've been all on my grind, so why I need you? Baby girl love my bop and unlike me too. No roof on my top and my babe see-through. Hating on the
Welcome all of you to today's edition of the Afridamus Report. And if you're new here, please make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. And if you are super duper sensitive, if you are someone who thinks people that tell the truth are offensive, people that tell the truth are homophobic, transphobic, all the phobics, please, I'll give you the chance to step out of the channel, because over here, the truth, only the truth shall set you free. Ladies and gentlemen, what I'm about to talk about here, this is the psychology of victimhood. Like 1 minute, the person is a victim, and another minute, they are the strongest person. And with this victimhood is a narcissistic behavior to the core. The narcissism is toxic and detrimental to, it's like mental illness. Because the videos that I'm about to analyze here today, ladies and gentlemen, I would point out exactly, the things that most people probably look over. We hear all these different stories. People talk about racism, sexism, or to say white supremacy. And I have insisted on here on my channel that I don't see this white supremacy. And when you ask people to explain it, they cannot explain it to you. It's always somebody else feels less than to the white people. And when you ask them, how do you know this? Oh, because you've heard one last week, he could read white people's mind. But there are many who don't say this, but their action and how they give themselves the license to say whatever to the people that they hate. That's what I'm about to talk about here today. For most people who are new in this sector of YouTube, I would explain a little bit, because you see there's a group that calls themselves FBA. These are Black American group, FBA and ADOS. These people say they are fighting for reparation for slavery. Mind you, they've never been slaves themselves, but they said their ancestors were slaves. If you let them tell the story, they are the only group of people in the history of this world that slavery has ever happened to, right? So I get it. And I'm not saying this didn't happen. Okay? I'm not saying it didn't happen. But now, are we going to time travel? Are we going to try to change what had already happened? No, we cannot. And many take it so far out where they mask being losers. I'm talking about losers. They mask it with slavery. Oh, you people don't think slavery happened. Hey, it doesn't matter what I or somebody else thinks. If it's happened, it's already happened. Did it happen to you? No, just like that white supremacy and even, people being called nigger. Like whenever you ask, none of them, people somehow, their cousin, their friend of a friend, or they just heard it, or the news says it and they're outraged. Oh, what a hypocrite most people are. I have seen this outrage, and one thing I cannot stand is hypocrites and liars. Being a hypocrite is one of the most dangerous things ever. Because if the person is showing you point blank that they are hypocrites in front of you, what makes you think they would spare you? And many of you have subscribed and jumped onto this bandwagon of lies and deceit, talking about racism, white supremacy. This brings us to African immigrants or Africans that come to the West. Video that was sent to me. This is a platform that was being run by Africans who have never lived in the United States. Some probably have visited, but again, they don't understand the dynamics, just like most white liberals don't understand the dynamics. You would think that these blacks only accuse white people of racism, white supremacy, and all this, right? No, everybody is collaborating against them, according to these people. And they're the ones that get to decide for you what you're thinking. So, you were born and raised in the United States of America, one of the greatest countries on the face of this earth. The economy is the strongest economy. Opportunities are all over the place. So you mean to tell me that, quote unquote, your ancestors, they built America. You are a strong individual. You don't have to learn the language. You don't have to be given the permission to work, to be given work permit. No. But now these people are coming and attacking people just simply by sharing the same skin color, which for the most part, Africans don't share exact skin color with most Black Americans, since many have been mixed through generations. Most of them are lighter than Africans. So I don't know if we can necessarily say we're the same type of Blacks. You see, I don't necessarily know if we could say this. But people outside of this country, or even inside some, but you have to live here to be acclimated into this race thing. And Blacks are super obsessed with it. Most Blacks, when they meet you, there's this narcissism about them where they think any person they meet, they have to tell them about slavery, Jim Crow, oh, Joe Blow got shot. So you are talking to people, explaining to them all these things are happening to you. It's only you. Everybody is against you, now including Africans. Including Africans. I have warned many of you Africans online here. You did not listen to me. I've told you, when you support and back lying talking points, it's going to boomerang and come back at you. This is what is happening right now. You have Black Americans living in one of the most powerful countries in the world, coming to Africans who left their country for whatever reason, economic reasons, to better themselves. Anyone that's migrating to America, I guarantee you, they're not coming here to enter the quote unquote skin color war. Because why would you leave wherever you come from to come join this quote unquote skin color war that you have perpetrated on your own? It's one thing if if you believe this is real, just explain it to the people. But the people you're trying to tell this to, you can't convince them for whatever reason. For whatever reason. And then it turns into insults. Because for me, if I see two group of people, who someone saying they have a dispute with another person, but I'm seeing the other person is not allowed to say anything to this one person. The person that's saying they are the ones offended, right? Like, imagine if you can just say anything you want to people and they can't say anything back to you. Because if they do, guess what? They are haters, right? They hate you. They are white supremacists. What I have seen is most blacks are stuck in the past. And you can see it through American TV. You can see through the Democratic Party, what they push to blacks. This is why anytime, if you're an African, if you're having a conversation with blacks, if it's not about colonialism, because they want you to pretend to be oppressed as well. If you cannot hold those conversations, then there's no conversation. And if people have never experienced something, they cannot pretend. Look, all of us have issues. The people you are coming and complaining to, telling them about your first world problems, you don't think they have problems? They have way more problem than you. But, America is so terrible, you won't leave, but you're telling other people that you are oppressed. If they don't see this oppression and you can't explain it, you call them names. The names, the things that they were accusing white people of, now they're accusing the Africans of. That's why I said in this CryLympic, because people say victimhood Olympics, but CryLympics that we are having, the blacks have surpassed Africans. Because, there are Africans, especially Nigerians, right? You see them online. I mean, they are the ones that engage this type of conversations with the blacks. The blacks try to act like they are oppressed, and the Nigerians would take it right away from them and act like they are way more oppressed than the blacks. And the blacks get mad. But you see, someone like me, right, shows up and say, hey, I love America. I'm here, to focus on my business. Now, all of a sudden, they're upset. Oh, you are collaborating with white supremacy. Now, I'm going to explain, I'm going to bring a video where this conversation took place between black ADOS person and an African panel. I'm going to break this down. I want you guys to hear, what is being said. Okay? See the arrogance, the self-entitlement, the narcissism that I'm talking about. And then we're going to get into another video where the blacks are begging the whites to come and rescue them. This is in 2020. But before we enter that, I want to make sure, I play the video of the sponsor of this program today, the Democratic, there's a Democrat running for Senate. She's sponsoring this. Here we go. Let me run this ad. Stick around.
Senator Tiara Mack is under fire for one of her latest posts on TikTok. In the short video, Mack, who is a Democrat representing District 6 in Rhode Island, can be seen in a bikini twerking upside down. Her video, which has remained on her account, is captioned, "A Promised Senator Thirst Trap at Block Island," and she ends it by saying, "Vote Senator Mack."
Vote Senator Mack!
She was soon called out by a commenter expressing disappointment, saying, "I don't ever want to hear you complain about how women aren't respected in this country," after posting this. Mack replied to the commenter, "Honey baby, I have an Ivy League degree, and I'm a sitting state senator. It's not about what I'm wearing. It's not about what I'm doing. they won't respect me regardless. Conservatives would follow suit shortly after the video was posted. Republican congressional Florida candidate Laverne Spicer would tweet, "Tiara Mack just disgraced herself and disgraced every black woman running for public office." Mack would reply, "Right back at you, girl." Tucker Carlson played the clip on his show, mocking the senator and her party, saying, "You have to wonder why it's left to this show of all places to announce the rising star, the next rising star, in the Democratic Party." Senator Mack later took to Twitter to not only defend herself, but express how the media unfairly chooses what to cover when it comes to her career. She said, "Can the media also cover when I won a national championship in May and named MVP of the match? Can the media also cover the 10+ bills I sponsored that the Rhode Island Senate never scheduled for a hearing? Can the media cover any policy wins had by the youngest black state senator in Rhode Island?" As a black, queer woman, you all should know the answer. It's no. Let them carry on their narrative. I'm going to be joyful, free, and unbothered. While the senator did receive some support, another commenter said, "I'm not a conservative, and I'm disappointed. Where do we draw the line on the behavior of public figures? I like when we have a standard of decorum that we want our people to rise to. To be uncommon is to be admired. This ain't it." Mack would hit back, "Girl, I have an Ivy League degree, and I'm a state senator. Hate to break it to you, their decorum isn't for us. They can't respect us in a system designed to oppress us." Mack remains unrepentant, choosing to keep up the video clip.
Thank you, Senator Mack. Make sure you send that Venmo as you promised. So I ran the ad. Here's the thing. That Senator Mack, can you guys believe this? She says she is black and queer first. Queer meaning a weird person, right? That's what it used to mean. But I mean, I guess that's one of those, like you wake up today, you are into men, tomorrow you're into women. I guess it's one of those sexualities, right? But Senator Mack wanted people to vote her in. She decided to do what she did, talking for you guys to see. And when pressured, I'm getting news that she said this is expression of her black culture. When I said this in another platform, people try to get upset and pretend. But where did she learn this from? This is the disconnect that I'm observing many blacks in America are having with other people. What they call racism, hate, is cultural difference. Maybe where this Tiara Mack came from. Maybe not just maybe, this is a culture over there in the household. But when your household culture or neighborhood culture or the people you hang around, that culture doesn't match with the majority, it will always be a problem. And that's what's happening. And she said, oh, she did the whataboutism. This woman is delusional. She said they should have announced how she became an MVP. What an achievement, right? So goodbye, Rhode Island. Welcome the ghetto in. Mind you, this woman is supposed to be the senator. The senator. She's on Twitter fighting with people about, people pointing out that her conduct is not right. But she says she has a degree. She went to the 13th grade. Let's talk about the degree. How many times have you guys heard about the degree? They're affirmative action degrees. Because when you speak to the person, because they want to talk about the books they read, intellectual understanding of the world doesn't move the world. You have to have experience. You have to understand what is happening. Well, yeah, I got a degree from the white man that I say I don't trust. A system that is designed to oppress us. Does this look like oppression to you? It doesn't. Before we keep moving again, let's start the show by showing you again how most blacks would attack white people. It's like they're lurking in the corner. If a white person says black, even if it's something good, they would find a way to turn it into negativity. I'm just walking you slowly to the show. But before we get into that, since it's White History Month, it's only fair to celebrate White History Month with you guys. Remember I celebrated Black History Month with you guys here. So let's do the White History, and we would get into the other crazy clips here.
It's White History Month from now on. Happy White History Month.
It's White History Month. I'm gonna celebrate with my friends. It's White History Month. So be sure to tell everyone. There will always be different months to celebrate. This month's gonna be White History. It's White History Month, and I'm gonna celebrate America. It's White History Month, and I'm gonna scream it to everyone. There will always be different months to celebrate. This month's gonna be White History.
Wow, that song brings tears to my eyes. Okay. Happy White History Month to all of you. America was founded and created by, some very, very smart white people. They created the greatest country on this side of heaven. So happy White History Month to white people out there. All right. So now let's get into, you guys have heard white supremacy, white supremacy, white supremacy, right? If you notice, the people that are obsessed with white supremacy talks, they go out, they look for this quote unquote white supremacy. Here's the thing. In America, guys, let me tell you, it is okay to be free in America. It is okay to be free in America. All you have to do is endure, become an individual, open your heart to love. Stop whining, stop crying, stop blaming everybody. Stop looking outside and pointing fingers. You should be pointing fingers at yourself. But you see, when you're walking around with the spirit of a demon, you think the whole world is against you. And you go out there, you spew that poison, and the righteous shall stand against the hatred that's been pushed out there. There's a man named Phil. He does the African Diaspora channel show. I've done some videos on him here. I've analyzed and break down some of the videos. If you haven't seen it, go back and watch from it. So this man is very obsessed with white supremacy. Anytime he hears a news about white people, he runs over and publishes it. So to me, I'm like, okay, wait, are you trying to help black people be strong and independent, or you're trying to push more fear into black people's mind? Because a lot of these people, when you talk to them, I swear, sometimes it seems like, okay, you are in 1863. That's what it feels like. So there is no end to the line. Nobody knows when someone is going to come out and say, you know what, we feel whole, we no longer feel anything about slavery. Because you see, when people talk about reparation, what if you get a check, are you all of a sudden going to lose the trauma of slavery? We all know that's not true. That's just delusional. But here we go. Let me play this video. It's just sometimes in America, this TikTok thing these young white women, they are always looking for attention. So attention she sought and she found it. Here we go. She found a black supremacist responding to the video.
People only. If I invite you to the picnic, are you coming? You guys always invite us to the cookout, but we never invite you to the picnics.
Now, you know good and well why y'all don't invite black people to the picnic. Now, I know the history of that word. Picnic means pick a in. Look it up, okay? So black people really don't want to attend something like that. Also, is a resounding no. We're not going to go to your picnic at all, usually, because the food choices and also guys like this. Everything be all good at the picnic, and then they show up, and then now it's about to start a doggone Klan rally. So why would we go to a situation like that? On top of that, we're not going in the woods hunting with you because you end up saying that, oh, you shot us by mistake because you thought we was a deer. We're not going swimming with you because all of a sudden we the only black person out there and then we get drowned. Covered this mess for the past 10 years. I'm a lot smarter. I'm from the South. I know better. So, yeah.
All right. Public service announcement. He did his public service announcement, right? So this white woman, I bet you, she put the invitation out there. There's going to be plenty of black guys going to that white picnic. And what's this thing about, oh, white people's food is terrible? You look at all the restaurants, the good restaurants in America. Every time you watch whose restaurant do the blacks go in front of and say, oh, they didn't let us in or they didn't treat us right. Black people were willing to fight, white people just to be able to eat in their restaurants. I guess their food is so terrible, right? But you're fighting so hard to eat in there. So we know that's not true. This man is obsessed with white people, period. He said, the Klan would show up. I've been to plenty of white picnics. I went hunting with white people. I've gone shooting with white people. Everything he's pretty much labeled. You see, this is his wish list, right? But he's like, no, don't do it with white people. I'm scared. So it's like black people in America are living in fear to a point now, plenty of them are looking to other countries to live. I'm about to play that as well. The Conservative, thank you for your super chat. He said, July is White History Month. Ladies and gentlemen, please make sure you hit that like button, and share the video as well. So, picnic. He said picnic means pick a nigger. That's what he means, right? So, we all know that's not true. This is literally going out of your way to not be free in the freest country in the world. This is true. If, I'm not saying that where I come from, I'm not free there. That's not what I'm saying. I am free there as well. Okay? This is why I'm able to tell you, point to you what real freedom is like. So this place is free. What is freedom? You do you and let me do me. If you have issues, endure just like the rest of us. If you need help, use your big boy or your big girl tongue and explain it in detail. Most of us are not as mean as you think. We are open to helping. Our hearts are open to love. Okay? And I'm not speaking about all Africans because, in that conversation is the devil versus the devil. Because, most of these Africans are devils too. You see them. But I'm going to play this other clip before we get to the two devil groups attacking each other. But this time the Africans took the high road because you see, the blacks have managed to relegate themselves a notch below. Mind you, immigrants, even people crossing the border. People crossing the border. You are literally saying these people are above me. I don't know how you're measuring it because I don't go around thinking about, who is superior, who isn't. Okay, that's not how my world works. I just see people as people. I treat people, the same. I don't try to say this is, Joe Blow, this and that. No, people are people. The spirit is the same. You know, some of the people, they would say, oh, this person is racist. They are usually just some asshole who disagrees with you. Like they would say hate crime. Have you ever seen any crime that is a love crime? Anytime someone is harmed, trust me, it's out of hatred. It is out of hatred, to a point where people are so deluded. They would say, oh, when black people commit mass shooting, it's not as serious as whites. That's you're proving that you are blind. You're blind to the truth. You don't need quote unquote expert to tell you what you are seeing, is not true. Use your common sense, but many people have lost common sense. And again, I don't know who this yo-yo master is, but this person have perfected the blacks, and they are using the blacks to commit all these things that we're talking about here. Because you see, they pretend they're like, oh, we love you. You are more oppressed than the rest of the world. Completely crippling black people. But the reason why it works is because deep down in your psychology, you feel that weak. You feel that helpless. So instead of doing what the rest of us are doing, you just cop out and say, no, it's white supremacy. The KKK is out there. Why did that man feel the need to even make that video? Why did he feel the need to make that video? Oh, that white girl, she's like, oh, you're always inviting us to the cookout. Well, blacks claim they hate whites, but they love having white people around to come, because the white person is the high class. And that's the truth. Talking about lynching. Like, what year do we live in? But here we go. Most blacks saying they are trying to leave America. And guess where they are trying to go to? Mommy Africa. But what is their thoughts about mommy Africans? I will play that also. But here, I'm just showing the evidence so that when we get into the actual video, you can see for yourself. These videos would debunk that the guy who is about to start talking. So here's a black woman. She noticed that there's tons of blacks looking to leave America. But here we go.
My family outside of the United States. So I've been doing a lot of research about moving abroad. Specifically, I've been seeking out black content creators who have left America for other countries. Their stories are both inspiring and heartbreaking because the common theme that they all share is a sense of feeling free from the spiritual warfare of America. I honestly was so shocked to see how many black Americans are leaving America in what almost seems to be a huge exodus. I think black Americans are waking up to the system and that America is working as designed, without us in mind. When my husband got home last week at 1 o'clock in the morning, after working a 10-hour shift, he was absolutely exhausted. I looked at him and I said, I just don't think it's supposed to be this hard. I want a life of ease and softness and joy, and I don't think I'm going to get that here.
Amazing. So, hey, life is hard in America. You want it so much easier? Yeah, I'm going to move to Africa. Good luck, sister. So now that brings us to the topic I'm about to tackle here, the conversation. There's 2 clips. So, most blacks, they tell themselves that they are Africans. But let's just face the facts. Let's just face the truth. Okay? The original people slaves who were brought here were Africans. They stopped being Africans a long, long time ago. If you were born in America after all this time, you are a African descendant. Your ancestors came from Africa. Mind you, so many black people have mixtures with other races. Whites, Filipinos, you name it, right? But you want to tell me you are mixed, but you are 100% black. You don't acknowledge your white side. That doesn't make sense. Because if you're mixed, saying that makes you that gives you stake to go to Africa, the other half should go to Europe as well. The point is that's not possible. Wherever you were born, you know, like nowadays they've made it easy. You can travel, they have things in place, you can become citizen there. But you cannot all of a sudden say, just because I'm black, I'm, I am an African. And many Africans are becoming aware, are becoming smarter and understanding that, okay, yeah, most of these people come here, they talk all that blackety black stuff that Africans are not into. Africa is like, hey, everybody here is black. Like, why do I need to make this a big deal? They say, oh, we are the only people pushing Pan-Africanism. So you left a country where you guys are mixed, right? You're European, more European culture than African culture. So you are going to go to Africans and try to tell Africans what values they should be focused on, things they should be upset by. That's what you want to tell them, which absolutely doesn't make sense. We've even seen some, I've analyzed the videos here, went to Africa acting like a victim. Some acted like colonizers. They cried, they said, oh, we are running away from racism and sexism and all these isms, right? But the other day I was talking to somebody from my country, Gambia, which is very popular, becoming a popular destination for most of black people here. He said to me, I noticed one thing. There are Gambians in America, like you, many other Gambians. But all these videos I see, the blacks, they don't have, I haven't seen them connect with Gambians, that live up there. I said, maybe there are some. I said, but very minimal. I said, ding, ding, that should tell you that should tell you something isn't right. That should tell you. I said, but I don't want to convince you of anything. You look and see for yourself. Continue to watch my videos. And this is a PSA. I'm not here to disparage anyone. I'm not here to talk down on anybody or push falsehoods. But I'm here to wake people up to the truth. Because only the truth shall set us free. Because how can we live in a society or be amongst people, communicating with people, but it's a one-way street? You are all caught up in your thoughts. So since most blacks have given themselves this high ground, they would patrol the streets of YouTube because, they said the Africans, black immigrants, are the problem. Black immigrants are in cahoots with white people. Yeah, showing up on time at work, doing work. Oh yeah, I'm in cahoots with white people because, yeah, I go to work. Yeah, I came to America to do the things I need to do. I'm a coon for doing those things. You've been in America this whole time. These problems you're crying about, if you're so strong, why do you need a complete stranger, just because you're the same skin color, should join you? I don't know who lied to black people about this. Do you think why would, for instance, refugees leave their country? They're leaving it because there is war there. Relocate to America. So they're going to relocate to a place, completely different culture, different skin color. They're going to relocate there and go fight those people about their racial hierarchy. Make that make sense. That doesn't make any sense. Oh, you leave Jamaica or Africa. Oh, I'm going to America because they have opportunity. And you show up there. You're like, you know what? Let me join into their, BLM political stuff, because you see, the blacks are oppressed. So, they are more oppressed than me. So therefore, I'm just going to join in. It makes no sense. It makes no sense. But here, let me share this. Here we go. Let me share the screen with you. So This black guy is trolling YouTube as usual, right? Comes to an African centered channel. So they let him in, which Africans generally would do. You would have one of these people show up, insult them, interrupt their show, because they lack home training, spiritually disturbed. So you say white people are the problem, white supremacy. I would like to see you go to one of those white supremacist channels and disrupt it. But no, because they think you, African, you're the low hanging fruit. They think you're weaker. So literally, you're dealing with bullies here. It proves the point of many of the Africans who went to school in predominantly black areas as children, how they were bullied. If you were so great, people would want to be around you. But there's a reason why these people you even grew up with don't want to be around you. But here we go.
Can you hear me? Hello? I don't hear you. Oh boy. Cam, Mike.
We were able to hear you, but now we can't hear you.
And the person saying the way
Wait, hold on.
you are African, the way I talk about African Americans is out of order.
Now
The lines would be open. Call in.
again. Yeah, now.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, you're good.
Is it okay if I speak?
Yeah, you can go ahead.
Okay. What I want to just tell all of you immigrants, you tethers, your biggest mistake right now is.
So he goes on their show. What I'm about to tell you, immigrants, you tethers, he starts by fabricating names in the effort of making it an insult, which is weird. The people he's talking to are not even in the United States or residents of the United States. But let's let him continue, because you see, people like him will not come on a show like mine and talk this way, because they know I live here. I know what I'm talking about. So they go to shows like this because those people don't understand the dynamics here, and they go and lay their grievances. Let's let Ted Tillman tell us what he thinks about the tethers. By the way, I guess black immigrants are now called tethers. It's like either they are they're trying to mimic the most the racist people back in the days. They also want to feel powerful and call Africans names. That's why you see them say Africans are monkeys and stuff. But hey, I'll do a show on that also. But
you don't have a code of conduct. You fight amongst yourselves. All this tribal infighting, what it does is just waste time. Get on a code of conduct. White supremacy is your enemy. What are you going to do to counter this economic, demonic monster that is keeping you, all of us, as permanent underclasses?
So you guys are hearing him, right? He said the tribal Africans are tribal. They like to talk about this tribe thing. I think there's a jealousy there to want to be a part of a tribe, because tribe is beyond just skin color. Tribes have their own language, their own culture, their own everything. So psychologically, that messes with people like him. So he wishes he had a tribe and not just identify just by skin color, you see. But he wants to say, oh yeah, you guys fight amongst each other. Oh yeah, so Africans are over here fighting and shooting, killing each other. Is that what we're gonna go with here? So if fighting, shooting, and killing each other is a problem, then what is your excuse?
I'll just wait for a response from anyone.
All right. So I don't have an excuse for everybody, but one thing I will say is that um a lot of Africans like on the continent actually don't know about like racism or whatever. They don't know about white supremacy because they're not in proximity with whites like that. And then when whites do come to the continent, they come completely different than. Okay, remember the example of when Africans went to China and they got kicked out on the street because the Chinese were like, "Oh, you're bringing COVID here." Yeah, like Africans really don't, they don't really have that until they leave their country. Like they don't really have that experience.
So she's absolutely correct. So she laid it out to him in a respectful and a logical way. Pretty much what she's saying: hey, get your head out of the sand. You're talking about a group of people who don't share the same experience as you do. They don't see what you see. She's absolutely correct. But you see, he doesn't seem too pleased with that answer. So let's see if he really understands it. And KBM, shout out. Thank you for sending me this clip here. Thank you.
Okay, why in the age of the internet, you're going to tell me that African people, I don't know what countries they were from in China, they didn't see the example that they were treating, how bad they were treating the African immigrants in China?
So if they treated an African immigrant in China, is every African immigrant experiencing that or going to experience that? We don't know what happened. You just saw a video. So if you go around looking for mistreatment, guess what? That's what you would receive. So he is obsessed with identifying with people based on mistreatment. So let's use the logic on him. Since it's the 21st century, he's asking, doesn't Africans have internet? Blacks, what about, does blacks have internet? Blacks should be searching on the internet and knowing these things just as you are asking the Africans to do. But you see, people pay attention to what they are interested in. Maybe they are not interested in what you're selling and you can't accept it. This is mental illness, to be quite honest. Why would you care about what Africans on the continent even care about? You don't live there, you're not African. Even if they say, yeah, we believe in white supremacy, okay, and then what? And then what? This is silly.
Or in the Ukraine?
Does anyone want to come on here? Because I gotta leave soon. But let me tell you something. Like, honestly, you'll be shocked, but many Africans, okay, let me not say many. Let's say a good number of Africans don't actually have access to the internet like that. Like, internet on the continent is really expensive. So they'll use the internet to, like, you know, call their friends or whatever, but they won't really be watching the news and things like that.
I don't believe you.
Of course, you're not going to believe her because she just busted his fake reality bubble. See, this is what they call narcissism. The blacks honestly believe that, you know, people are sitting there checking on blacks. Yeah, somebody's going to be in Africa, you know, checking to see about blacks. People don't really talk about black people like that. I don't know if you know this, and you should thank the white people for showing white, you know, black films out there. It's not all negative as most of you try to push it. But you see, if you only see negativity, why would you be surprised if negativity comes to you? So this woman is from Africa. Her relatives are in Africa. She talks to people in Africa. She just told him the truth. Yes, People don't have the internet like you do over here, the ample electricity. So you think someone is going to go buy their data and spend it on watching Black Americans? This is what most people like him believe. This is what they truly believe. This is why they will tell you, oh, we're super popular out there. Hey, just because you're seeing it on TV and on American TV, don't fool yourself, delude yourself into thinking that's what it's like out there. That's not how it is.
Because look at all the Africans that are wait. Look at all the Africans that are putting weaves in their hair and twerking, dyeing their hair blonde. What are you talking about?
So you saw some people. So here's their delusion also. They are still calling people second generation immigrants who were born here, people who their parents immigrated from an African country or to the UK. They are calling these people immigrants. So you're telling me you saw a video of somebody whose parents are Africans. They were born and raised in America. That's where they're socialized. They are performing the American culture like Senator Mack. So that's your example and representation of somebody who is in Africa. And he can't even pick a country because most of them think Africa is in fact a country. So right then and there, the disconnect starts there, because most Africans, I'll tell you right now, even here in the States, they will just say, oh no, that's just the blacks. People allow you to be ignorant because they know if they try to correct you, it's going to turn into this big shouting and fighting match. It's like you're looking to bait people into this, arguments. So people, just like white people, like, they will smile and pretend to you. The Africans who don't want the conflict are doing the same thing. Because why would somebody want to argue with some strangers about, some, identity crisis they are having? Nobody has time for that.
Okay, so let me also continue explaining from what our sister is saying, right? Basically, what she's saying is, these white people or these Arabs or whatever, when they come to the continent, they behave differently. They don't behave the same as the way they behave outside the continent, right? They behave more humble, more nice. Some of them, they still play the discriminatory character when they come, yeah. But one thing you should know is that we cannot, the time when the
Here's the thing, other Africans also, they would somehow fall into, this bait and switch. They would lay it for them and they would still pretend. Oh, see, he's trying to say, oh yeah, some of them, they don't act that bad, nice. So you're telling me that if, let's say, every Chinese is the same as the one Chinese that was race hustling in Malawi, which, by the way, Malawi is very known for, if you want to race hustle, that's the place. Madonna did it first. I'll do a video on that. But you are telling me that people who want to go to these countries, taking their money to go invest, you think those are just those people's street guys just standing around? No, these are ambitious people. This doesn't even make sense. Why would somebody leave their country to go invest in another country to look for trouble? I'm not saying it's not too far-fetched, but I would assure you that wouldn't be the main reason. And again, when people disagree with you or see that, your behavior is not up to par, that doesn't mean they think you are less than.
The blacks were kicked out of the hotels in China and all that stuff. That happened in 2020. And the Ukrainian stuff happened just the beginning of this year. So you cannot experience the way white people are discriminatory, or the Chinese or whatever, in the continent. You can't. Only unless when you leave the continent. That's why I said I'm speaking from my experience, because I live in Europe, but I'm African. So in Africa, there is not that type, there's not really that Pan-Africanism in the continent. But once Africans leave Africa, they come to Europe, or let me say Europe because I live here, they start getting a lot of this Pan-Africanism thing. They start getting a lot of pride, you see, because that's when they actually feel the real experience on white supremacy. That's when they actually realize that, okay, you guys, you know what, we're different, we're alone.
So this guy, he's trying to please the black guy, but it's not true. If you feel less than white, I suggest don't live in their country. Plain and simple. I don't know which Africans he's talking about. Most Africans I know here in America do not feel that way. Trust me, whites are the least of their problems. Those people are focused on their own lives. But whites are not their problems. Blacks are not their problem. Nobody's their problem. People handle their own issues, just like me here. I'm not sitting here thinking about what white person is thinking or what this person is thinking. That's silly. So he's wrong in that. Unless, because, Africa is huge. I have met some Africans from, because, like Nigerians, they are in a whole different class of their own. I don't know if we could 100% call them African because they are in a different class, right? But I've met Africans from other countries, like I've never met people from where I come from that think the way those people think also. So people should stop blanketing Africa. Name the country, because people are different, completely different.
We're hated. So we should actually appreciate what we have. There's so many things we have in the continent that you don't even have here in Europe. There's so much blessings you have that there isn't here. So that's what I want to say. That's one thing you talked about, why we're divided in tribes. Hey, that's true. I mean, in the Caribbeans also there's colorism. Even within the Black Americans themselves, there's also colorism. You see, but we have to come out of this kind of I won't call it a comfort zone. Let me just say we have to come out of this zone and realize that we're different and we're blessed, and we're all in this alone and together. We have to be with this in this together.
We're not in this together. We're not in this together.
So you see, this is what the Africans always would do. Most of them, they would try to play it, oh, we are in this together. And they would even say, yeah, the tribe is, the division, they make it sound like it's a bad thing. Look, the tribe where I come from, you think I'm sitting there worrying about somebody else's tribe? That's not how it works. You are just who you are. That's it. Accept your identity and roll with that. But you see, when they say, oh, you got to remove tribe. Okay, so you're telling me the same identity that you claim the white man took from your, the first Africans they brought here, because that's your identity. They took it from you, your language, your mores. You said that's what you're upset about. Now you're mad at Africans for being themselves. Make that make sense. So if anything, you are the one who somebody else, like you said, your master gave you a different identity. I came with my identity. Why do you have a problem with that? Okay, so I should stop being my tribe, right? I should change my name from my tribal last name to Johnson, right? So I can fit in. This doesn't make sense. But again, the man, you look at his face, he is looking for problems. That's what he's looking for, because this is the new thing. Many, they don't have to have experience with anyone. But as soon as their black leader tells them, these are the people we have problem with, now all of a sudden they do. Like they would say, oh, the Africans call us Akata. I found Akata, like I've been around Nigerians in real life. I've never heard that word, to be honest. Maybe those people are from different tribe. I've never heard it. This is an internet word. I never heard the word until somebody accused me. There's a black person who said I was racist, by the way. Internet said, you all Africans call us Akata. I was like, what is that? Stop playing dumb. You know what that is. I'm like, no, really. What is Akata? You know, I started hearing it more and more. Now it became, now the word have changed. It became this huge lie. Now you have some Kenyan saying when he was young in the United States, his parents told him, don't hang out with the Akada. I said, I thought this word was from Nigeria. So I'm confused. Yeah, you can call me that, but they use the N word. They literally package it and sell it. People hear this all the time. But that's not a hill I would ever want to die on. I don't get into those semantics with people who can say the N word. What? I don't care. Okay? It's up to you. You know, if you want to self-deprecate, that's on you. But the word, to be honest, is just a word. It means absolutely nothing to me, just like any other word. Yeah, you're going to look at some of these people. If you want to get them out of character, a white person says that word. It's like a trance. Like, dude, you call everybody in your neighborhood that word. That's your description. But those, oh no, it's a term of endearment when we say it. So now I even I witnessed an argument, a whole show about this Akada word. So they said Akada means wildcat. Okay, the blacks, they are no longer wild. They are domesticated. So you Africans need to stop calling them wildcats. The people are telling you they are no longer wild. They are domesticated. So find a word that fits that and stop calling people what their character is not. They are no longer wild. They have been domesticated. Period.
You are off code.
Something we
You
have
are off
to.
code.
Off code how?
Pan-Africanism does not exist in the foundational Black American community.
Okay. So foundational Black Americans have their own community and Africans have their own, I don't know if you want to call it Pan-Africanism, that's it. But don't you think that now, because right now you brought a complaint about the African, I can't speak about Africans in America because I don't live in America, but don't you think that's kind of like a division thing that we're creating between the Black race? The FBAs are all
yes,
yes,
it is a division. Yes.
To be fair, and I don't want to speak bad about Africans in America, but to be fair, if you know the mentality of some Africans in America, they don't want to interact with like other Black people. In fact, they want to be closer to the white supremacists than they want to work with other Black people.
Again, you see, that's why it's hypocritical for you Africans to even be using this word white supremacy. So this woman is not in her country. She's like, I don't live in America, but I want to speak on other Africans' mentality. Oh, the Africans want to be closer to the white supremacists. Okay, an African person, right, will travel from Africa and show up, and then what? They're going to go live in areas where there isn't jobs. You think people are coming to this country, you think they're here for other people or opportunities? We're putting all Africans in one basket. For example, I met other Africans. That's like me going to Ethiopians and saying, man, you guys are not uniting with me. And I'm like, okay, what are we uniting on? Oh, we are all from Africa. Okay, you have your country, I have my country. Live your life, I live mine. I get that. But no, she is saying the Africans, they go around the white supremacists. So she's never lived here, as you guys know. But again, I think she's just trying to be nice, not to hurt Ted Tillman's feelings here. So she has to throw a little bone, but she knows it's not true. She knows that.
And some of them think that they're actually better than other Blacks. And I feel like if you're going to America as a, because if you're African or Caribbean, you're not high in numbers. The highest in numbers would be African Americans. So it would be to your benefit to work with the African Americans that are already there. So I'm not really sure why.
What? So they say these vague things. So are you coming here to join the black group to increase your number as skin color, or you here for a completely different thing? Okay, I know Jamaicans, I know other Africanians. Like I said, what are we gonna come together to do? I've been to these parties. I have nothing against them. We just do things different. People are individuals. If you're not the one that paid for that person to come here, you have no business, trying to tell them what they should be focusing on. Like Canada, she's in Canada, according to you guys. Canada is, if she believes that white supremacy exists, majority of the people in Canada are white, just like in the United States. So what is she doing in a white supremacist country? It makes zero sense. It makes zero sense. But even Africans have learned the cue, right? To treat black people in America with kid gloves, even on the internet. So mind you, this Ted Tillman, look at Ted Tillman's face here. Mind you, I immigrated here. Let's be real. The way this guy sounds, the way he acts, what can I or any other African, what can we do with him together that would be positive? He hates white people. He hates Africans. He hates everyone. That's why I keep telling you guys, if you hate one, you hate all. You see how the hate is shifting? First, you guys thought people like him only hated white people, right? But they hate all. So now I'm confused. Are they saying, oh, the Africans, you come here, you don't come and hang out with me? Maybe you should go to the airport and put a sign up and say, hey, Africans, come with me. Maybe that might help. But I'm truly confused by these people's arguments. They are fighting you because you have the same skin color as them. That's what it is. You are supposed to think like them because you have the same skin color. If you don't, you are a sellout.
Some Africans do that when they get to America. I don't know. But anyway.
Do you live in America?
No, I don't live in America.
I'm asking the lady.
No, I don't.
Okay.
I visit America frequently, but I don't live there. No.
Okay, are you African?
Yes.
Okay, so let me explain to Ted. Let me just tell you.
So, if you look at even in the small country of Gambia, the blacks that went there, not all, but even a lot of you Africans that make videos about Gambia, why do you make it? Because you have a people that came there and brought drama to the place. So you guys are enjoying it. Not all, but most, on YouTube, just on YouTube alone. So you think, what kind of life do you think anyone, immigrant of any background, can get in America by associating with people like him? This is what these people are not telling you. Okay, you want Africans to associate with you. What are we associating on? I've been asking this question. They say we should unite. Unite on what? You are saying this is your experience. I have never experienced that. I don't know anything about it, but I would wish you luck. They say they want to fight white supremacy, the boogeyman. How is that going? But I'll let him tell us what us Africans, what we are doing wrong. They are the Pan-Africanists, even though Africans lives amongst each other, the African, you don't have a choice, even if you don't like it. Because some of you act like, oh, you don't like being in Africa. Or as if in Africa, people are walking around and say, you know what, I hate blackness. People don't think in terms of that. This is just your imagination. You are in the darkness of your imagination. Just as, you know, the white people you talk about are not thinking about you. Africans that come here, not all, maybe some do, but most are focused on what brought them here. That's it.
What informations I get from the Africans in America. And the last information I got from my African friends through Telegram in America was yesterday.
Most of them
Africans
are coons.
actually. Okay, let me just tell you what the information I got from the two guys I know. They say they actually want to hang around with Black Americans because, trust me, they also say that these white policemen or these white supremacists, whatever, they don't care. They will not say, "Oh, you're African, okay, let's just leave you." Oh, you're FBA.
So you notice, right? They would always go for the negativity, like the police, as if you're black, you are always just interacting with the police. So you're telling me anytime the police pull you over, it's because you're black. Look, I've gotten pulled over by cops several times. And every time they've pulled me over, guess what? I was in the wrong. But you know what I do? I say, hello, officer. May I ask why I got pulled over? And you've got people who, they will say, if you ask that, you get beat up. It's the biggest lie ever. So, like I said, these people are making this as they go. And I know some Africans who say they get pulled over by the cops. Most of the time they are speeding, or they have expired tab or something, because that's happened. So now you're telling me so blacks can only identify in America. That's the story they tell, because you know how mixed people would say they are black because the cops see you as this. Really? Are you reading that? Do you know what's going on in that cop's mind? And someone say Amadou Diallo. Okay, Amadou Diallo got shot. So is that now Amadou Diallo is a representation of every African? I've heard one of them say, "We marched for Amadou Diallo." Oh, did that bring him back to life? Who asked you to march? Maybe you are just looking for a way to just go out there and do the things you do. What did that marching do? Seriously, it didn't do anything. So the truth is, just take care of your own business. Stop worrying about other people. It is the biggest sign of weakness. That's why this man is sitting here in these dark shades. You know, deep down, he's a weak man crying for help. 1 minute, if they're not crying for help from the white people, they're crying for help from Africans or other blacks. And it's not like direct asking for help. It's like trying to shame people. Oh, if you don't do, all the blacks over there in America, the Africans are coons. But what makes them a coon? What is even the meaning of coon? Oh, you mean you want to go out there and pretend? Anytime if the person gets shot, right? Maybe is it possible he's a criminal? Is it possible he pulled a gun on the cop? You don't know what happened. You know, we don't know what happened. CNN just came and said these things, and you're jumping out there. I'm a firm believer in this. If the cops were wrong, take it to the court system. Plain and simple. It's between that cop, you know, the system, and whoever's family is involved in that. But a complete strangers jumping in saying, oh, because he's black like me, get out of here. Fake outrage. Fake outrage.
Okay, let's arrest and kill these guys. They don't care. As long as you're a Negro, you're a Negro. Whether you're Caribbean, Afro-Latino, African, Fiji, Papua New Guinea, whatever, or Black American, you're a Negro, and they'll get you. The Africans complain to me that the Black Americans are the ones who don't like the Africans. They are the ones who look down upon the Africans. Let me Let me finish. That's number one. Number two, these Africans that go to America, these guys are not going. Okay, this maybe is not a good excuse. I'm just telling what I'm told. These guys are not going there for soul searching, or soul searching is done.
See, again, Africans, I don't know what countries you come from, but if you're going to be doing these panels and you want to tell the truth, you better be firm on the truth. See, his knees are shaking. He's telling him the truth, but he wants to give him a chaser. He is right. No, you think people are coming here to soul search? Hey, maybe you practice, but hey, it's not the same. Like black saying, "Oh, I'm going to Africa to I'm searching my soul." Okay, well, good luck. So you see how we all have different reasons why we go to places. We have different ambitions. We have different visions about life. But if you notice, it's a one-way street. Like I could be like, hey, I love working 24/7. That's what I love doing. So if you don't like working 24/7 and you're black, that makes you a coon. But you see, they would never argue with you about hard work. It's always some foolish criminal thing. So you mean to tell me every black person, have encounter with police? Is that what you're telling me? There are plenty of black people who don't have any encounters with police. You want to use few criminals, and if you're black, it's over. You can't opt out. You have to support the black criminals. Like when the Democratic Party, they're telling the blacks, oh, we're gonna do criminal reforms. That's what they push for. Like so you're saying all blacks are criminals, black, and there are many. Somehow the people who are related to the criminals have the loudest voice, and they speak in this voice in a way as if, as long as you have black skin, the cops would arrest you. You're like, Tyrone got arrested because he was black, blah blah blah. And then you go read Tyrone's file, you find out that's in fact not true. Tyrone was selling crack and he shot 3 people. But they're hiding this from you. I know you are asking, how do you know this? Because I worked in law enforcement before. I had direct access to reading these files. So don't just hear things and take it as gospel. There is some lies in it. You guys remember Amber Heard when she accused Johnny Depp of abusing her? You guys remember when Johnny Depp finally pushed hard and brought this to the public? We found out Amber was a witch. We found that out. So this guy here, instead of accepting that he doesn't like Africans, it's not just Africans. He's just a hater. He just hates people, period. He hates himself. Even when he first came on the panel, he attempted to call Africans name. I don't know, whatever that is. If you look at it, blacks in fact fit that profile. But they're attempting to call people names. So he knows he's been called out in a nice way. But let's see how he would come back.
In Africa. In America, they're not doing that. They're going there to make money. They're going there to look for money. Now, unfortunately, who owns most of the organizations in America? It's the white man. So when they go there, these guys, because most of the wages in America is higher than most countries in Africa. And these Africans are in America, they want to make money to feed their family back home, to invest back home and whatever. So unfortunately, when they go there, they want to suck up to the whites. They want to please the white man because they don't want to lose their job.
That's where he's wrong. All you have to do is focus on what brought you here, do your job. Why do you need to suck up to anyone to, do your job? Like, you don't have to do that. Just do your job straight. Again, This is what tells you that the blacks, like him, see Africans as above them. Because you see, if it's easy for you to be able to just insult somebody, because you see, like, blacks can insult whites and whites cannot do it, it would be considered racism. You guys remember when the blacks went and insulted the Somalis in their Twitter space and the Somalis returned the favor? The blacks started crying until black racism against the Somalis. They cannot take it. So if the person is like dealing with a little child, if they're the ones that are hurling the insults and you say one thing that is real and they start crying, you know that they don't have the power that they are trying to show. It's like trying to set you up or something, you know, trying to set you up. So this guy, what he's saying, maybe people from his country he talks to, they might be sucking up. I'm not sure, but again, you don't have to suck up. Just do your job and go home. That's it.
Jobs, you see, and that is why it's not a good excuse.
And they undermine foundational Black Americans. We, in the beginning, first of all, they wouldn't even be here if it wasn't for us. That's number one.
So, foundational Black, that's a new thing, right? But now that's what they are, mind you. So, if the slaves, that the original slaves who were brought here, if they were Africans, right? His statement would be wrong, because that means Africans have been coming here since the times that he's claiming. Those people were Africans. And also, he's saying that they are oppressed, right? Because that's what he's implying. There's white supremacy, meaning the white people are the ones that make the laws, they get to decide. So how did he all of a sudden become so powerful and be the one to make sure that Africans will come here? That contradicts everything, because if this country is so racist, why would you want to welcome fellow blacks to come here? It means it's a bad place. That means you don't love me. You want to set me up with this white supremacist. But this is another delusion that they like to spew out there. And they learned this from Tariq Nasheed, the founder of FBA. This guy is probably the same age or older than Tariq, right? This is what is sad. Most of these people, they move from group to group. They've been followers their whole life. They can never think for themselves. So that's why he's sitting here repeating exactly what Tariq Nasheed told them. Oh yeah, we're the reason why they came here. Okay, so what did you do for yourself? So you became the reason for a group of people to come here. How are they doing better than you if you are the reason then?
Fighting for civil rights and the rights to bring what we thought were going to be more family into the United States, to fight with us, to fight white supremacy. But instead, these coons, they come here,
So again, so they brought Africans here to be to help them fight. By the way, Africa has over 1 billion inhabitants. Believe it or not, there's less than 3 million Africans that live in the United States that came directly from Africa. I'm talking from all the countries if you add it. So that's like a drop in the bucket. He better step up the game, because whoever want the Mexicans or the Latinos to come help them, they are doing a better job at that. You better check the border. Now, if those people told those people that we help you come in, we can believe that. But a student coming here, going to the 13th grade, you've never even stepped foot in the 13th grade. You don't know where it is. How can you help somebody to find their way to the 13th grade if you don't know where it is? Oh, the people that are coming for holidays or work. You cannot bring people here like you're claiming. You cannot just get up and go to the United States government and say, we want you to bring Africans here. You know that doesn't make sense. They don't even know what the civil rights was about. because I hear it was about, being able to get close to white women, being able to eat in the same restaurant as white people, because which also debunks what most of these people say. White people can't cook, but you would take a beating just to go eat in white restaurant. That restaurant must have really good food, you see. But again, I'm not making fun of the civil rights, because they would try to run with that, right? But it tells you how people like him, they themselves make a mockery of this, because the goalpost changes every single time.
Sell out for crumbs and butter biscuits off the table, the scraps of the white man, and then they try to, well, not try, they separate themselves thinking that they're better than us because Zaddy is patting them on the head and giving him a couple of trinkets and welfare and little
He's telling you, see, a person can only tell you what their experience is. This is what he's telling you, the experience of Black American. So he thinks the Africans he's seeing, or they talk about, that's what their experience is as well, because they are Black. There's criteria. You have to. The United States government doesn't just come and hand you stuff just because you're here. That's not how this works, buddy. He doesn't even know the laws. But if you're Black, of course, if you're in the project, you're a citizen. You were born here. That's why the people you're around, you're seeing them with the things you're talking about. That's why affirmative action is for people like you, because it's created for that. So, but now all of a sudden, it is Africans. I just told you, right? Less than 3 million Africans from all the countries in the United States, from Africa. Let's say if even all those people came here and claim all these things he's saying, all these benefits, it would even put a dent. Nobody would even realize it in the United States. So he doesn't make sense.
Cookies and crumbs. And then, like I said, yes, we are separate. We've waken up now. The kitchen is closed. We're cleaning out the garage. If you well, first of all, we're going to check your paperwork. And after we check your paperwork and it comes up.
Hey, that's prison talk. Sounds like he's been to prison. In prison, they want to do paper. They want to check the paperwork. Most of you Africans wouldn't pass, because your paperwork would say, you came here to go to the 13th grade. You are smarter than, Ted Tillman over here. He really thinks, mind you, right? So it's like, this guy wants to convince you to join his loser culture. That's what he's asking you. And it's not all Blacks that think this way, but there is a significant number of people that think just like him. You guys have been seeing the videos I've been playing here. There's no shortage of people that think like him, act like him, 0 sense, and they just open their mouth without even thinking.
Dirty. Guess what? We don't want you around us. We're tired of this, these coon class coming in here, trying to undermine foundational Black Americans. You've disrespected us openly in the public in front of Zaddy. So now we know where you stand. And I'm not going to say all.
So what they see white people as daddy. So those of you white people that have heard Zaddy, they are referring to you guys. They see white people as that. So you see, this is what's funny. These people, like, they if you want to know anything, just be quiet, let them talk. They will tell you everything you need to know. And your disguise is the skin color, because they are telling you what they think of themselves. They think way less of themselves than anybody else. So in his mind, oh yeah, you just there, the white man is patting you on the head, instead of seeing that people come here, people focus on achieving things. People have goals. They work on their goals. But not Ted Tillman over here. Ted Tillman wants to check people's paperwork. But we are not in a prison, sir. This is how prison works. We are not in a prison. This is prison culture. So now you guys are seeing what you are encountering, right? You are not just encountering ordinary people. You're encountering criminals. Sometimes when I hear the terms, I know where those terms came from. Checking paperwork, that came from prison. This man have seen cell block D. He has.
All of you, because there are some writers. I've met some Africans from the continent and from the Caribbean that are writers, but there's very few. Most of you are nothing but coons and sellouts, and we can't trust you, and we're going to check your paperwork. And as far as Pan-African is concerned, it's over. Check back with us in a couple of years, and then we'll see. We'll make another evaluation. But right now, Pan-Africanism doesn't exist in the foundational Black American community.
Africans, damn. How are you gonna live your life without Pan-Africanism? Hey, the FBA have, given their edit. Talk about living in the darkness of your imagination. Hey, look, Ted, I don't know how much cash you need to abolish the Pan-Africanism. I'm with you there. Like, I would donate to this fund for you to stop it yourself if you want to. Literally. So, again, he's just talking nonsense, and he wants to be taken serious. Imagine you are on your way to work, or you new here in America, you encounter somebody like this, talking about things like this. This is why many people think most blacks are delusional. So you're just going to tell any black person this. You think every black person should join you. Exactly.
Would you say that this was mostly with the older generation of Africans? Because the younger generation of Africans, I don't know, from what I can assume,
both.
They're cool with Africans.
Both. You got the ones, we call them coolies. Man, yeah, we down with you, brother, and then they turn around and snitch on you on the job or wherever. And then you got the ones who have that.
Look, I've told you guys I was an officer before, right? I worked in the prison. Speaking of snitching, you've heard people, the black, they will say, there is no snitch culture. In prison, they have what they call kite system. You request a kite and you write. That's how communication is done. And I read these kites as an officer. Nobody snitches more than, most of these, blacks that I encountered. Even one time, this is gonna sound crazy to you, but they had to buy him a Subway. That's all they did. The intelligence there, they needed some information. They brought him in the office. I was one of the officers that escorted him. And we waited and they started asking him. He's like, man, I ain't no snitch. And they were like, hey, we have a Subway. You wouldn't believe this happens in prison, but it does. It didn't take much. He's like, okay, give it to me now. And they're like, nah. He gave up the information right then and there. If you want to know the truth, what a black man is thinking, if you want to get the truth from black people, put them in front of whites. I have seen it with my own eyes. Did you see First 48? Literally, that's what it is. First 48. They would snitch you out in no time. And this snitching thing means, like before when I worked there, they would be like, oh, man, you're a snitch. I said, how can I be a snitch when I got the badge? That's my job, It's called holding you accountable. I am no snitch. In fact, I have a video to show you where blacks communicating with the white man. See, the white man, when the white man put the mic in front of black people, they tell the truth. They tell the truth. I've seen this in prison numerous times. Another one, believe this or not, all it took was Vaseline, a couple of packets of Vaseline. That's all it took. He said he needed it because he was ashy. He didn't have money for the store. Even though in prison they give you some of those packets of Vaseline, but I guess he ran out of supplies. So he told and he got his Vaseline. But here we go.
At the older generation, they have that talk. Oh, you stay away from those black Americans. They're drug dealers, smokers. And what I don't understand is these people who flee from the continent, they never go back to try to better things in their homelands. And then they got the nerve to come to America.
Here comes the fleeing part. So I want you guys to listen to this. He sounds like a scorned black woman. Literally, he has that spirit. So he's telling us what he is pissed off at. So yeah, the Africans ran away. They came here. They think they're better than you. Did they tell you that? Or you are just in your head? They tell their kids, don't hang out with these blacks. They are drug dealers. Are they telling the truth? Maybe the people that live around areas where they've seen the blacks selling drugs, of course, why would you blame them? Why would you blame them? The blacks themselves talk about this in their rap music. When I sell my dime, I make my money, wearing my bling bling. We've seen all this. People snitching on themselves, shooting at their rivals. Oh yeah, sure. Like, I'm going to see a group of people say, this is our culture. We like to promote, selling drugs and women doing the booty clap, a strip club, talking about sex out of control. Yeah, you know what? That's the culture I want my child, my innocent child, to go learn. Sir, get over yourself. Get over yourself.
America and try to put down black Americans. And then when you wonder, well, why are they here in the first place? Why are they here in the United States in the first place? And then you look back at their homeland.
So if you don't want to hang out with the blacks when you come to America, then why are you here in the first place? This man is speaking as if Africans are coming here, saying, I'm not going to hang out with blacks. As if every African don't have they don't associate with blacks. I don't think people walk around intentionally saying, I'm not going to hang out with this group of people whatsoever. People have eyes. People see what is happening. You don't have to, it's not about being black. It's about character. The same Africans you're accusing. Go to African countries and see if people in those countries, everybody hangs out with everyone. Or if people hang out with criminals, if people support criminals. Go to these countries and find out for yourself. So these people are not telling you. People don't want to associate themselves with things like that. And they don't have to be from Africa. There are plenty of black Americans who don't want to associate with that. There's plenty of them who even lived in areas that used to have that in the hood. They call them hoods or ghettos. When they make it, they leave the ghetto. So this man is not making sense.
And it's, hey, I hate to say it, but Trump said it. They're nothing but shitholes. And you're being colonized by the Chinese.
Trump also said Baltimore was a shithole, and you guys said he was racist. Let's hear the Chinese are taking you over. So he's spewing his what he wishes for us Africans. It's like while he's saying this, inside he's crying in so much pain. This is all pain. It's all pain.
Chinese, the Arabs, and the Europeans. And then you try to big up yourselves thinking that you're Pan-African group that's going to fight white supremacy. You can't fight white supremacy without a code of conduct. If you don't have a code of conduct, all you're doing is just talking and wasting time. You have to have a code of conduct, and you got to stop fighting amongst yourselves. And what I see right now, especially on Twitter.
So, I mean, last I checked, they were the ones fighting, quote unquote, white supremacy. He wants people to have code of conduct, right? Yeah, we see the blacks having so much of that. I guess that's where the Africans learned it there. The Africans you're talking about, they are displaying the conduct they learned from the blacks.
Spaces, you guys are disgraceful how you fight amongst yourselves. We don't want the foundational Black Americans. We're getting on code, and we just don't want anything to do with that. You guys check back with the Pan-African stuff. 300 years, we'll sit down at the table and renegotiate. My phone.
Let me just comment on that. Are you still there?
Yeah, my phone is just going dead. Let me can you hear me? Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yeah, I can
hear
you. Can you hear me?
Okay, I'm listening. Yes.
All right. So okay, let
it's actually, I can tell these people are not used to this type of talking points. Look, if you've worked in a prison, I have met many Teds. Trust me. Many Teds. You start rattling off things like this, like usually they will put them in the suicide smock and isolate you. In prison, you can be talking this crazy talk. They send you to a counselor, put you in that green suicide smock. And they're saying you're losing it, which is true. So these people are sitting there listening to a madman. But the unfortunate thing is, you guys saw the senator, right? The one that was twerking. She has the same logic as him. So she's saying she got a degree, so therefore she should be twerking. That's what she's saying. So this guy, his logic, the Africans are coons because Tariq told them.
Let's talk like adults, right? Let's try and understand. I see this more like a two-way thing, okay? We also have African Americans that are also relocating. I mean, the country I come from, I believe it's not a shithole. It's one of the most developed countries in Africa, and that is Kenya. I'm proud of my.
So again, you see, when the blacks were saying Trump was racist, when they accused and said Trump said this shit, Africa is a shithole. And I've seen some Africans getting mad, but we've never really proven that he said that. So what if he said it? So what? So what? But you see, the blacks were the ones saying this is racist. So again, they go around looking, not all, let me correct that. Looking for things to be offended by, but it's all virtue signaling and lies. So before, Trump was racist for saying it, but now Trump told the truth, right? This man has never been to Africa. You guys remember Art Kati, the other one that said they want to colonize Gambia? Remember, she said the same thing. Trump was right. So these people, if these terms, these things they are saying, if that's what makes white people racist and white supremacists, if we don't hear white people saying these things, but they're the ones saying it, technically, and they're the ones who are these quote-unquote wannabe white supremacists, channeling their inner white supremacy, because this is strange. It's very strange. Make sure you hit the like button. I'm enjoying, TED talk like this because I haven't worked in the prison in many years, so I miss hearing some of these crazies.
My country. We have African
why did you
Americans
leave?
that are also
why did you leave? If you're so proud, how come you're not there now?
Because I got a job here. I got a job internationally. If I get a job internationally, it's going to be good for my CV. Then when I get back, I can get something even better.
Wait a minute. Why don't you go back? If you're so proud of your country, why don't you go back to your country and make it better?
So the logic. So the man just told you is good for his CV. He doesn't know what CV is, which is like resume. So he is out there collecting experience so that he can become more valuable. But again, you now you see why somebody like him, is upset constantly in America. This is called life. You have to improve your life constantly so you can increase your value. So this man seeking that outside of Kenya doesn't mean he's running from his country or don't love it. So this is the logic, literally. Now you guys understand what white people have to deal with. Now you are dealing with it. It's like he goes to the extreme. So everyone, wherever you were born, that's where you should stay, and you should live there till you die. If you leave the place, then you're running.
Why are you
That
fleeing?
is
Why are
why
you running?
I'm not fleeing. That is why I go outside. I get experience outside. I get the job outside so that my CV and my experience can become better. And I go back and make my country much more better. It's better than I just stay in Kenya, just doing Kenya. Let me go outside and learn.
And by the way, you notice it's only the Africans who fled. But the Chinese, the Arabs, the Indians, the Europeans, the other Europeans that come here, Russians, you name it, right? Everyone comes to America. But it is only the Africans that fled. People, are you listening to this? What these people say? They are telling you that, yeah, everybody else just came voluntary, but the Africans, you guys fled. And it makes me laugh when they say this. If you notice, I don't entertain it, I don't engage it, because it's like speaking to an idiot, complete ignorance. But this is what is promoted. This is what is promoted. So you're supposed to go along with this idiocy. That's the goal. But if you don't go along with it, then you are a coon.
Things from the white man, and I go back and I bring the idea back home.
Most of you don't do that. Most of you don't do that. That's why we don't have. That's why foundational Black Americans don't have any respect for you, because you run, you flee, and you don't do anything to go back to improve your country.
Listen. I know many Africans that went to study in Europe and America and Canada, and they came back to Africa. I know so many. Some remain.
Then why is Africa still a shithole? Why is it still a shithole?
It's not. Have you been to Africa?
I don't have to go. I see all the.
So Africans, just so you know, these people usually come to your channel to insult Africans, and I'm glad they let him talk, because I remember this. Some of the people that probably watch this channel, the things I point out, they act like they're offended by them, but everything I point out, they see it. I don't make things up. I don't have to. That's for losers. That's for liars. I have no reason to lie about anything. I'm pointing it out. That's why I bring videos as evidence. That's why I enjoy analyzing videos, because that's real evidence. You cannot just say, oh, Afridamus made things up about such and such. No, we would let the person speak, and I would add my 2 cents onto it, which is what I'm doing. So he's saying Africa is a shithole. He's not African. He will not go to Africa. Why does he care if it's a shithole? He said, oh, FBA, we don't respect Africans. You don't respect yourself. So you think you're not respecting Africans? That bothers Africans? It's just like with the white people. Like you say, you don't respect them. White people know you people like you don't respect yourself. You think they care? People don't care if you do. Your respect means nothing to them, because you don't even respect yourself. And this doesn't go to every Black person, because they like to do the feminine thing, like, because most of the fights you see out there, Black guy gets shot, it's either gang issue or a woman they went out with creating problems. and then they expect the boyfriend to go do the fight. I have a video on that in New York City that I'm going to be showcasing. So you notice most of them, when you speak to people that behave this way, they would say, oh, you insulted every black person. Instead of looking in the mirror, they wouldn't do that. They would just deflect and say, you are referring to every black person. But the blacks who don't think this way, they know themselves.
Your people fleeing
Exactly.
here to America, and they don't want to go back.
Okay, do me a favor. Go to Africa, visit the countries, and then now you can come and tell us whether it's a shit or not.
Okay, can I ask you a question? What's the poverty? What's the poverty rate? What is the poverty rate and the unemployment?
I don't know. I don't know that.
Yeah, and like I said, you people flee. You run. At least we foundational Black Americans, because we built this country. This is our country. We stayed here and we fought, and we're still fighting. We're setting the example for you to follow if you just get off of your coon train.
So he's telling you what he's upset at. So is he mad that he thinks they're fighting something and he wants to set example? You want other people to follow you. Oh, really? Maybe you might want to go check and see. Maybe your example is there's a reason why it's not attracting other people. This is like you know how like those transgender people would say, if you don't see them as women, then you are a hater, transphobic. It's not just that they want to, they think this is a good thing. Because if you feel like it's a good thing, just be that. And whoever, if you want other people to copy you, let them. That's on them. But you're saying you want people to copy you. If they don't, then they are coons. Maybe they are not interested in what you're doing. Maybe people see that as being a loser. Is that a possibility? It is.
You got to fight. You can't run and flee to other countries. You guys are just cowards, and it's hard to respect you because you don't go back. My God, your country has all the natural resources in the world. Most of you can't even dig the oil. You can't even pump the oil out of the ground. That belongs to you.
But Ted, listen,
you should be ashamed of yourselves.
So wait. No, we're not ashamed. We love ourselves. Let me tell you one thing.
You should be ashamed.
You
should be ashamed. It is not a two-way thing. This is.
It is. We have FBA. We have FBAs. We have FBA that are fleeing America and coming to settle in Rwanda, Tanzania, Ghana, and the Gambia. It's all over the YouTube. And
please! My God!
Yeah,
you gotta be
America
kidding.
is still being colonized.
So he's gonna say this is not true. I mean, people, think about how crazy it is. He is getting all walked up. Oh, yeah, you guys have oil. You can't even drill it. Okay, why are you upset at this? Why are you mad? Oh, us foundational Black American. Oh, you guys are drilling oil, huh? Okay. All right. They are drilling oil now. This makes no sense, but I just want you guys to hear this. I want you guys to hear it for yourselves. I know that I'm not picking on, people. There is too many videos like this. And it seems like these people thrive off of ignorance and hatred. Plain and simple. Do you think Africa and other places need this? I think it's a big no.
The majority, the vast majority of Black Americans are right here in America. Get real, man. Hey, listen. I've traveled overseas. I've been to other countries. There's the greatest country in the world is the United States. That foundational Black Americans built. It's the greatest country in the world. So don't even try that with me.
So you guys, so those of you that were saying, I was a coon a while back for saying America is the greatest country, the strongest. I was a coon for that, right? But you notice, you African, when they're having conversation with us African. If you love America, you are a coon. If you promote America, you are a coon. But then they would come, they try to say, oh, your country is a shithole. Then they want to take America's glory somehow. You want to take the white man's achievement to insult other people, insult other places you've never been to. So when all attempts fail, when all this, victim peddling fails, the next thing is for them to be proud Americans. And the only way to be proud American is to insult Africans, especially. For some reason, they're obsessed with insulting Africans. By the way, the African people he's talking to on the panel are not in America, but this is his thought about Africans. If he's wrong in this thought process, how much stuff do you think he's wrong about when it comes to white people and other people? What makes you think, he's not just stuck in the darkness of his imagination? I want to say he is stuck in the darkness of his imagination, because everything he's saying here is not based in reality.
And many of those Black Americans that leave and go to Africa, most of them wind up coming back because they realize how fucked up sorry, I don't mean to use that language. They realize how bad it really is. So I mean, come on, man. You're not even in Africa. Come on, man. You don't fool me. You fled, man. You ran. You got out of there. Just tell the truth.
I never ran. I already explained to you what I did. And there's so many Black Americans that moved to Africa and they say they don't want to go back to America. It's all over YouTube, man. Check those channels. They are all over YouTube. They are in Gambia, Ghana.
Those are anecdotal outliners. The majority of Black Americans stay right here in America. You know it. Come on, man.
And
the richest Black people in the world, the wealthiest Black people in the world are here in the United States. What are you talking about?
So this guy, you notice he said it's very few Blacks that are living in Africa, right? But you notice there are way more people in Africa, over 1 billion. But like I told you, about 3 million Africans in all those countries, only 3 million. But in his mind, that's every African. That's every African. But when it comes to, the people he called ADOS, I'm not sure if they call themselves that, the Black Americans that moved to African countries, when the man points it out, he's like, oh, it's very few of them. Well, sir, it's very few Africans that are here. It's very few. What are you talking about?
Actually, Nigeria has more millionaires than Black Americans.
Oh, come on, man. The most affluent, technologically advanced are the Black Americans, foundational Black Americans. And
so now he's going into TV talk. Yes, Nigeria does have a lot more millionaires or multimillionaires than the Blacks here. What are you talking about? They're like, come on now. But who cares, right? Who cares? Because those people with those millions, that's their million. That's not his million or my million. Who cares? But this is how these people think. But Joe is doing a good job correcting this man.
You know it. Don't be jealous. Just don't hate the player. Hate your coach.
No. Even who are the most educated ethnicity in America? Answer me. Who is the most educated ethnicity in America?
Who is the most educated ethnic? What do you mean?
Which ethnicity has the most educated people in America?
Well, foundational Black Americans, because we invented everything.
So the Blacks invented everything. So okay, and let's allow this guy.
No, actually, it's Nigerians. They're the most educated people in America.
Who built? Hey.
I've heard people say that as well. Yeah, because there's a lot of educated Nigerians, but they are not the most educated in the United States. I don't know why they wrote that article, if it's just to piss the blacks off or whatever. But on average, Nigerians or most immigrant families would take subjects, they would study subjects that are more science-based, that is more useful, where they would make money. There's a difference. But to say they are most educated than all, I don't know about that. But there's a lot of educated Nigerians and a lot of educated immigrants as well. But I don't know if they are the most in America. That would mean you're saying they're more educated than the whites, the Chinese, the Japanese, others. So I don't know who wrote that article. I read it before. I think it was a Nigerian person, second generation Nigerian. Like I said, the blacks like to exaggerate, but they can never outdo the Nigerians. I promise you that. They can never outdo the Nigerians when it comes to anything, pretty much.
Who built Washington, D.C.? Who built it from the ground up? The structures. Who built it?
Okay.
Black Americans.
So Black Americans built Washington, D.C. So, all right. So this guy is telling us, this is why every time you talk to people like it, they talk about, oh, we built this. When did this happen? Oh, when blacks were slaves. So you're saying the only way, which by the way, even the slaves that participated in building some of the structure or whatever, I'm pretty sure they were in laborers. So now we have tons of people from Hispanic countries that come here, like in the south of the border. They work in construction. You see, America is still being built. Some are laborers, some carpenters, but mostly laborers, right? So are you telling me they are the ones building it, or the people that sketch that, brought the materials, told you where things go? The white man built it, not you. So this doesn't make sense.
That's who. Who built? Who built?
Fine.
I know, but you didn't answer my question.
You answered it, Black Americans, but that's what I want to ask you a question by that question.
Okay,
fine,
sure.
Fine. Okay, FBA.
Sir, Black Americans did not build Washington, D.C. There might have been some slaves that were laborers in the building of the White House, which they talk about. Do you see what that layout looks like? Show me, if blacks were builders, show me a city today when blacks are free that they have built. Because if you're able to build that would mean you have the skills. So you want to take credit for some Africans. By the way, we don't know, but some African slaves who worked on that construction as laborers, now that translates as they built it. This is why they cannot tell you what they've built as of late. They said Tulsa. So you telling me every black person in America lived in Tulsa? Is that what you're telling me? But they say it as if they are in a trance. So again, I don't get into these silly arguments. Let's talk about right now. Since you are such a builder, America is still being built. Everywhere when I'm driving around, running, doing whatever, I see cranes all over, hoisted up. Roads being constructed. I don't see blacks doing that. Maybe in other states, but I don't know. So even, let's say, some black person, let's say, can this man, because some would take credit for, let's say, Frederick Douglass, a man that endured and freed himself, right? The way this man sound, it is safe to say he wouldn't be able to do what he did. But he would try to claim, oh, us blacks. How many blacks were able to do what Frederick Douglass did back then? Not many. Not many. So he's not a representation of a group. These people think they're communists. That's how they've been socialized by the Democratic Party. That's why they talk in groups. Group thinking is weakness. Step out of the group and be your own man or your own woman. Then you will see what you're truly made of.
Hey, fine. In fact,
we built everything here. We built everything.
Fine,
all right, give us respect. Give us our flowers, man.
Fine, your ancestors built America. They built Washington D.C. and everything.
We are America. Our music, our dance, our swag. All of you guys imitate us. You imitate us. Okay. Not only your people.
Wasn't he upset earlier to say? He was saying, "Oh, they want Africans to follow them, their FBA blueprint." So it would mean you're having a hard time getting Africans to follow this amazing blueprint you have. So he speaks on both sides of his mouth.
That was your ancestors. That was not you. Okay. So what are you doing? What are you doing for your children and for your next generation? That's FBA.
What are you doing?
Your ancestors built America.
What are you doing?
No, I'm asking you.
I don't have any children. I don't know, but I don't have any children.
Okay. I'm talking of in general, for other FBAs. What are you guys doing for your generation, your children's children, and your children's children? Fine.
They are looking for reparation right now. So when they get the reparation, they will be able to tell you.
Your ancestors built
We're fighting white supremacy. We're fighting white supremacy. We're only 14-15% of the population. We're fighting the greatest power on earth. We didn't flee.
They're fighting white supremacy. They did not flee. They're fighting white supremacy. The man just asked him, "What? Since you say your ancestors built America, they built everything. Cool. Now you are benefiting from what they've built." So the guy is asking him, "What are you building, or what have you built for the next generation?" "Oh, we're fighting white supremacy." "Oh, so you mean you're doing nothing?" "Okay, thanks for letting us know."
We didn't coward like you people did. That's what we're doing for our generation and our legacy. What are you doing? You're fleeing. And you got all kinds of excuses.
Do you know that Africa is the fastest growing economy in the world? 10 of the fastest growing countries in the world is found in Africa.
What's the poverty rate? What is the poverty rate?
No, I'm asking.
So he always wants to talk about the poverty rate in Africa, right? Shouldn't we talk about the poverty rate in America? Why would you be in America and be impoverished? That behooves a lot of people that are outside of America. It blows their mind. Matifi, thank you for the $10 super chat. He said, "Is China talking about reparations?" Yeah. China talking reparation? Who are they going to give it to? That's the question. China hasn't offended anyone, but the Uyghurs, they've been accused of that. But China is not talking reparation. China is talking receiving reparation too.
What is the unemployment rate? Who's gaining all these economics? Who's gaining all this money, all this capital?
We are gaining it. We are gaining it.
No, you're not. You're all broke. That's why you're here. That's why you left. That's why you got out. And you're still leaving by the droves. You talk about Black Americans going to your country. Look at all the Africans that are trying to escape from Africa, from all over, all the individual African countries. They're trying to escape. They're fleeing because they're cowards.
The same Black Americans are escaping. In fact, it's not even only Africa. Black Americans are going where? They're going to Colombia. They're going to Mexico. They're going to Brazil.
Oh, please. Not even. You can't even say 100,000. You can't even say 100,000. How many millions of your people have fled? Get real, man.
No.
Yeah, I've been to
How many
Colombia.
millions?
I've been
How
to.
many
Hey,
millions?
I live 15 minutes from Mexico.
Yeah, Colombia, Dominican, that's all those places where, they go there for this sex tourism, you know, this sex tourism. So this man is getting super upset for no reason. Oh, there we have Kaisorian Empire. Kaizo, welcome on the show. Kaizo, actually, I'm gonna be talking about the IQ video, which I know that's your favorite topic. Let me know if you have a email section in your description. I'll check it out. I'll send you the information, okay? Because I want to hear your input on that Chinese video because it's about IQ and you love talking about it. Guys, please make sure you like the video. But again, people go to black people, most black guys, they go to Brazil, Dominican Republic. They go there for this sex tourism. Let's just call it what it is. We've seen the videos, we've heard them talk about it, and we've seen some point finger and say it's white people doing this. But again, like I said, just allow the people to talk. You would hear exactly what they said. They said the women here are ratchet, they're not messing with them, so they want to go over there and pay for sex, and that's what's happening. Let's just be real.
Man, you need to get off of this stuff, man. You ain't faking nobody.
No,
I'm right
man,
here. I'm on the ground, son. I'm on the ground. I've been to Asia. I've been to Thailand. I've been to the Philippines. There ain't black Americans ain't leaving this country like that, bro. Sorry. And I've been to Colombia. They're not leaving in droves. They're not leaving in droves in Colombia to go to Colombia. You're watching too much YouTube, son. I've been there. I've been to Medellin, Bogota, Cali. So don't even try that with me, man. I see. This is what pisses me off. You people just straight up lie.
No, we don't lie. We say facts. It's just that.
So this guy, again, like I said, these are the Dusties, the Pookies, and the Ray Rays. Unfortunately, like in America, it's a big economy. Still, even their Pookies and Ray Rays can work and make money and find their way to these countries as long as they have passports. So the fortunate thing, mostly they don't realize the immigrants you come across, Africans, we are not the Pookies and Ray Rays of our society. That's what you need to know. You're not dealing with the Pookies and Ray Rays. Just like the smart people here don't want to associate with people like you, don't expect smart people from other places to do the same. Because, it's not going to work. Oil and water cannot mix. You see Joe here, the Kenyan guy. You can tell Joe is a smart guy. He is speaking from not only experience, but he's also book smart. You can tell. But Ted Tillman over here has got his mama's spirit. He's got that toxic, feminine Jezebel spirit. There's nothing worse than a man that embodies the dirty, toxic Jezebel spirit, because those men easily get violent. Those are the people that would shoot you for even, stepping on their new, Air Force Ones. You will be shot. Oh, they would say, you looked at me wrong. You said my girlfriend was fat, but is she fat? They would shoot people for things that are true. So Africans, don't let these people shame you into, destroying your plans. Focus on your grind. Do not associate with people like him. I'm telling you, I've lived in this country for many, many years. You will be wasting your time. If you're lucky, you go back to Africa alive. If not, you might end up in prison or body bag. There's some people from my country from many years ago who used to think they were hip like the blacks. They hang out with the blacks, people like that, doing all sort of things. It didn't end up well. It did not end up well.
torturing
No,
you
you
because it's the
don't. You're
truth.
not stating
And you're talking
facts. You're
about,
just the
you're talking
fact
about,
is you
you're
fled.
talking
You
about,
fled. You're
you're
not
talking about
going back to your
FBA.
country. You got all
Listen,
kinds of
you're talking
excuses.
about
The
MPA.
government. You know, and it's like, come on, man, get real. You know,
The blacks, they make fun of themselves without even knowing. They, like Tariq make that video saying the government, that's what Africans say. Nobody cries about the government more than the blacks in America. They rely on the government. Who goes to the government to try to get them to shut other people down? So the government is everything. The reparations you're asking for, who are you asking it from? The government. The affirmative action and all this special treatment and this victimhood. Whose attention you trying to get? Who you telling? The government. So keep making fun of yourself.
you admit at first, admit that in Africa you lost. You lost. Okay, it's being recolonized by the Chinese. Admit that.
You're just jealous. You're just jealous, man. You're just jealous.
Jealous of what? Jealous of what, man? Flies?
Man.
I'm jealous of flies. Come on, man. I'm not jealous of flies, bro. I'm not jealous of that, man.
Joe called it out. Pure, full-fledged jealousy. Look, this is what happened in predominantly black hoods. I'm telling you, the smart people, man, they make fun of them. When you're smart amongst, like in predominant black area, they call you Uncle Tom. They don't support that. The jealousy is out of the sky. So he's very jealous of, Africans. He's very jealous of them. Because why would he expend so much energy in useless talk or making up things about a place he's never been to? I talk about America because I live here. I've been living here for years. You don't see me talking about the UK or Sweden or those places because I've never lived there. But Ted thinks Africa is a shithole. Africans, I'm telling you, this is how, most blacks, not all, most blacks in America think of Africans.
How can I be jealous when all your people are coming over here?
You're talking, people are also coming over to Africa, man. Come on, bro.
What to get on welfare?
Exactly.
Oh, you guys have welfare in Africa. You guys have welfare in Africa? You got welfare in Africa?
Americans fighting white supremacy. Yes, we
do.
No.
Answer my question. You said our country. You're saying Black Americans are coming to your country, and I'm saying, are they coming there to get on welfare?
We don't have food stamps.
Hell no. They're coming. No, they're coming over here. They're coming over here to the United States to get on welfare and food stamps and health care and free.
Oh yeah, people are gonna leave their country just to come and get on food stamps. This is his logic. So in America, it's like literally this tells you that the blacks like him see that if you're black in America, they think you're doing okay. It has to be a food stamp. It has to be the government helping you because he sees government as his savior. Because if you look at it, things that are happening today in the United States, there are people who deserve compensation because of what they've lost. Business owners. But you got Ted Tillman over here. He wants black immigrants to come to the blacks. Okay, if you're here, what are the blacks going to offer them? Do the blacks have companies? Oh, yeah, so much for building the entire country and forgetting to create job opportunities for yourself or businesses, right? Because it's not real. The white man created it. It's the white country. just as our countries over there is black country. Nothing wrong with that. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it. But they want you to think, okay, if you say America is a white country, which majority is white, it's a bunch of other mixed people. This pisses off other people. But if you want a predominantly black country, you can move to them. But he is insulting the predominantly black country. So now it is safe to say his victimhood is made up, because now America is great again, Africa is dusty and poor.
Free education. That's what pisses me off the most about them, is because they come here thinking that, oh, they work so hard from the ground up. No, they don't. They get welfare and all kinds of little government subsidies, and they get more welfare than the black American citizens do.
Kaizo, thank you for the super chat. I think that's Kenyan money, super chat. So, okay, so let's go with what he's saying, right? He said these people are getting food stamps. Okay, if they get food stamps, how come their food stamps is benefiting them, but the blacks who get it doesn't benefit them? So you know that doesn't make sense. So he might be able, he might be getting the food stamps. Maybe that's what he's upset at. They told some of them, some of the black immigrants are getting food stamps. Oh, hell no. Why should they get food stamps? This doesn't make any sense. If you come into America saying you're looking just for benefits, you're not gonna win. You're gonna be a loser. You're gonna be poor just like the people on those programs, plain and simple. You might as well just move into the hood and stay there with some of those people. There's a reason why some of these people live in poor areas, because they're on these programs, and you have to qualify to receive that help. Do you know most immigrants that come here on average, do you know how many hours those people put in? Do you know how many hours we put in into work? Quite a lot. So you're not going to qualify. That doesn't make sense.
And then they got the nerve to try to point their finger at us.
Okay, let me ask you a question. You said that FBA is fighting white supremacy. How is the result so far?
Yeah. Look in Akron, Ohio, right now. Right now, go look on. Turn the TV on. To Akron, Ohio. Yeah, we are fighting. Do you fight that in your country? Hell no.
And what's the result?
Oh yeah. So the new fight is apparently the guy that got shot in Akron, Ohio, who, by the way, they said they found a gun. He shot at the cops, right? He said now that's their new fight. So he might not even, so he might be somewhere in Alabama himself or in New York, but that's his fight, because according to him, we joined a panel and we told the white people off. That's the end of his fight. And then he's done for the day. In fact, a black guy just got killed over in New York, and it has something to do with insufficient funds in his girlfriend's food stamp. I will do that story here.
The result is we send the message. The message is we're going to pull up on you. If you hurt any of our people, we're going to pull up on you. That's the result. The result is they're going to put value on our life, or otherwise something bad is going to happen the other way. That's the result. We don't run. We fight. We stand up and fight. You guys run. You flee. And then you want somebody to give you respect.
But who are we fleeing from? That's the delusion. They think people are bothered by white people. Even they themselves, they're just looking for attention from white people. You know they are not bothered by white people, because white people are giving them everything. So that's why they think white people are giving things up to immigrants. First of all, the United States here, like, go look at the immigration laws. Go check it out. These people don't read what the immigration law says. If you come here, even if they give you work permit and green card, you started qualifying and go get that food stamp, It will be hard for you to become a citizen because they don't want to bring people in the system that will be dependent on the system. So why would somebody jeopardize their American citizenship for food stamp when you could work, and make way more money than that? You have to be pathetic to come all the way here just for that. That doesn't make sense.
Fact. And hey, bro, I'm sorry. You guys are cowards.
You've been fighting for the past century. Are you going to continue fighting another century?
We're going to fight for another 1,000 years until we defeat white supremacy. We're not going to flee. This is our country. We were here before the Europeans. Okay, this is our country.
All right. So I'm sure you guys will agree with me. I've had enough of, this guy, but I'm just going to show a quick video here, to show how the blacks are always looking for help from the white man. The white man is supposed to be evil. They don't trust the white man. But let me show you proof. I have this video. I had it for a while. I didn't show it, but I wanted time to lapse so that people can get out of their feelings, and then analyze the video. The shooting in Buffalo, right? So you would think there's shootings here all over in the United States. It affects white people, blacks, whoever. But people, as far as I know, blacks react differently if the shooter is white versus a black shooter. So now, the shooting in Buffalo, everyone is jumping on that bandwagon. Oh, the white supremacists want to kill us. We are scared. Let me show you how these black men literally gathered up. They left their job. Mind you, these people have a job to do, right? Left their job to go cry to the white people about wanting protection. They don't even know that's what they are doing. They work for Tesla, which is run by an African immigrant, an African brother, Elon Musk. So the same African immigrants they're insulting, African immigrants are coming here in all colors and creating opportunities. The richest man, one of the richest men in the world, is an African brother, Elon Musk, an African from South Africa that came here. Here we go.
Workers. These are all employees at Tesla in South Buffalo, and I want to introduce you to a couple of people. Tell us your name, and tell us what you do at Tesla, and tell us why you're here.
My name is Dean Lewis, and I'm an associate there. I work.
Go ahead.
My name is Jamarius Cooper. I'm a lead production associate at Tesla.
You guys came out here obviously to see what's going on, to pay your respects, but there's a bigger purpose for your being here today. There's a bigger reason and a bigger message to send.
So, like I said, people get affected by tragedy. It happens, right? Mind you, these people, there was a shooting at the grocery store afterwards. These people, they work at Tesla. They have a job there. Maybe they have one of those quarters where they're like, you gotta, hire X amount of, blacks, and they got the job, right? I don't know. But either way, they have the job. Shooting happened. Instead of being at their job, and it's not the very day, the blacks, well, I'll let them tell you what they want.
Tell me about that.
The bigger message is that we're tired. That, you know what? Stop vilifying us. Stop making us the monsters. We're not super predators. We're men and women.
Hard workers and dedicated.
We work hard. We take care of our community the best we can. We support this store.
Okay, I don't want to confuse you guys. So the shooting that happened at Buffalo, right? That's what they are talking about. So again, the narcissism. There were people who were killed at that store. That's why I say many of these people are stuck in the past. Super predator, that's what Hillary Clinton said about blacks, I guess criminals, back in the 90s. So this man, he is stuck in that. How did he flip this and make this about himself? You would have think this, it was about, oh, blacks are the criminals, they are monsters. No, it was someone that came to a predominantly black area, shot those people. And by the way, there were 2 white victims there, but you notice the news cuts that out, right? They don't talk about that. But these people are going to make this about themselves when they should be thankful that they are alive. They were not at the grocery store that day, and pray for the departed souls. No, they're not going to do that. The white man is here, so they would have to tell white zaddy, let me make sure I pronounce it right, white zaddy, how terrified and how tired they are. Here we go.
All of us may not live in a neighborhood anymore, but this is where we grew up. Okay? We're tired. This hurts.
You were telling me that this is your store. Anyone comes here. You all come here to shop in this store. It could have been anyone.
It could have been any one of us. It could have been my mother. My mother lives up the street. My brother lives down.
But it isn't, though. Do you understand how hard it is to live your life with could have, should have? That's a hard way to live. Yes, it wasn't you. It didn't happen to your mother. Be thankful. It means, the higher power still have use for you on this earth. Every day that you are 6 foot above ground, you should be thankful. You shouldn't be thinking about, oh, it could have been me, but it wasn't you. It wasn't you. So all these black men, they gathered up, they left their job to come and be victims. And you heard it. They said they didn't even live in the neighborhood. Oh, we grew up there. Talk about the people who were shot. This it's no longer about them. Now they're making it about themselves.
The street. My daughter lives up the street. This is my primary store that I come to shop. And it's heartbreaking. I know I could have gotten caught up in the whole situation that went down on Saturday. So, I carry this heavy on my chest. I really do.
But let's speak to the bigger issue here, too. We're all grieving. We're all together grieving. I was out here on Saturday with so many of you, and it hurts. It's terrible. But the idea that a man, according to police again, came here with a mission. Exactly. Not targeting me, targeting you.
Yeah. So, you see how these the newscaster said it? So, it tells you they need to use the blacks for whatever agenda they have. So this white reporter is telling him, oh, no, he didn't come here to target me. There were white people there that got killed, right? They came to target you. Sir, you don't live in this neighborhood, but he's pouring fuel to the fire. He's manipulating these supposedly grown men. He's manipulating them to get angry because they know it's easy to manipulate the blacks. If you notice, there were shootings in Uvalde and other places. You're not going to see them ask this type of questions. If they're going to talk, they talk to the people who are directly affected. But it's only blacks where they use strange blacks to come and speak on behalf of other blacks they don't even know, they're not related to. This is just to create chaos and confusion. Where we come from, my country, like things like this, you would respect the family. You're not going to come there and try to make this about yourself. Yes, you're a community member. You would send your condolences, step back and allow the other people that are affected. If they want to talk, you talk to them about their people. But this is just to foment more hate. He knows these people, they're scared. They're scared of white people. They make that known here. These people act like they've never heard shootings happening in black areas. But again, it's more terrifying if it's white, right? It's more hateful if it's white. That's what they want you to believe. And this is not even the black people's fault, but they are being used based off of their imagination. They know it's easy to walk them to that lane.
It was planned. To answer your question, the top layer of what brung us all out here is family. This is our neighborhood store. I'm here weekly. My in-laws live at the new housing that's right down the street. Everybody here is because of family and because of pain. Nobody deserves this. They will give you the shirts off of their back. They will help you pay for your food if you were short in line. Everything that's part of our culture and our family, helping one another hand in hand, that's all what this neighborhood is. And for somebody to come and take the heart out of this city, you're literally taking the heart. That's why the city is in an uproar. This wasn't a situation that was gang related. This wasn't a situation that was...
So if it was gang related, then it's cool, right? Okay. Are you saying the shooter didn't shoot these people because he thought they were not gonna give him the shirt off their back? He would have done the same thing if he would have, you dropped him off in another neighborhood. I don't know what his motive is, but we're going by what they told us. Okay? The way everything is working out, if I were you, I would be looking at the people that you think you're trusting, the quote unquote, the government, the FBI, because man, Biden, they didn't waste any time to turn this into a racial thing. So these people should have been more suspicious of the government than just chasing their own tail. Because, like, think about it. I mean, if you follow this guy's story, you would see that the shooter, it's not just an ordinary shooter. Just my 2 cents. Somebody much more, an organization or group much more powerful is behind him. They wanted to use it as an example to take the guns away. By the way, speaking of gun laws, in Japan, you cannot own a gun. But I don't know if you guys heard, their former Prime Minister, Shinzo Abe, he got assassinated today. He got shot from a homemade gun. So to me, this looked more like, you remember in South Carolina, the church shooting there, it's along the same line. It's like, okay, let's use racism to take our, to take the guns away. So they're gonna use all kinds of means. So this is why you have to be an individual. Wake up and see what is happening. But you want to follow every group, you want to follow whatever they tell you. Don't be surprised when you end up getting slaughtered like a sheep. I'm not saying literally, but figuratively.
Politics. This was literally family. That's all it was, is just straight family, and somebody came here and destroyed that. So we're here for ourselves, for the family and the support of this system. We're here for ourselves as black people, fighting for what we need to fight for, because we also had to fight.
See, it became racial. Again, it always blows my mind where a black person, when the women do it quite a bit as a black person. So right there, you're leading on with race, pretty much trying to shame everyone from pointing out things or criticizing you. Then you would say, yo, This is against all black people. You cannot cry about racism when you make everything about race.
Right to leave Tesla to come out here without worrying about reparations of leaving a job to support something like this that should have had no back talking on in the first place. So we're out here for family, we're out here for love, and we're out here to fight for our natural injustices, which is why what happened in the first place.
Buffalo's called the city of good neighbors.
So they left their job. Mind you, they were scheduled to work. If you know you didn't want to come to work, you could have just called in. But you went all the way to the job and you guided each other to leave the job. Okay. They might not say anything today. They will go along because they don't want it to be a racial thing. But now the people you work with is registered. They know who they cannot rely on. Somebody who is mentally weak, who would be a hindrance to their business. Once everything cools off, when time comes to shave off, to reduce workers, they will remember this. They will remember this. And it's not from malice. They know like you're too mentally weak. If something happens, you think it happened to every black person. You are willing to try to create a problem for Tesla, for the company. They didn't have to show up to work this day if this is what they planned on doing. But they are making it about themselves. They want to create chaos there for whatever reason. And if the people bite, if they react to it, it will be a race issue.
Okay.
Even though Elon Musk is an African brother.
In our community, it is.
That's the slogan. That's the slogan, but it's not true because if you live here,
but if you live here, it's only within your community.
What do you mean by that?
Because, like here, like he said, if I came to this store and I didn't have enough money, if I was short a couple of dollars, somebody in the back of the line say, "Oh, don't worry about it, get it." But if I was out in Williamsville, South Buffalo, I'm being watched. I'm being followed through the store as if I'm going to take something.
If you're not going to take something, why would you care if they follow you? Hey, that's even good. They would just help you find the things you're looking for in the store. But, the expectations are so low. So the talking points make no sense. Why would you as a grown man go to the store and not have enough money? What, you don't have debit card? You don't have Apple Pay? Why would you go to the store and not have enough? So this mentality of promoting poverty is just too prevalent amongst black people, in America, everywhere it seems like. Oh yeah, if you show up, you don't have enough, somebody in the line would help you. No, go to the store. If you have cash, take enough cash. If you don't, take your debit card or your Apple Pay. You think the person that shot up those people really cared if they used to give money to people or not? That's not how this works. The guy that shot the place is a crazy person. That is very clear to all of us. I mean, the sane people. But deep in their hearts, like many other blacks, he is the representation for every white person. This is what this is leading to. And this reporter, I suspect that's what he is trying to promote. There is an agenda for sure where one side is using blacks to push some sort of agenda, but blacks are also very willing to participate in it, to be the victims, to be the ones being used to further this agenda. If you look at how many shootings happen in predominantly black areas, that doesn't shake these people. In fact, while they are here, this very weekend, this shooting happened. There were over 20-something people shot in Chicago and in Milwaukee. They weren't outraged by this. They were not. So, yes, I get it. It's proximity. You live there. I understand. You can talk about that. But once you start making it like it is blacks that are targeted and all like this is a recurring thing. This is the first time we've heard it. So let's speak about it in terms of that. But now when you try to make it seem like this is always going on, we're scared, that's just perpetrating a false narrative and being a victim.
I mean, I'm not putting you on the spot, but I'm gonna ask you a question. When's the last time you ever got on an elevator and a woman clutched her purse because you stepped on the elevator? When's the last time you've been followed through a store?
Again, I told you, narcissism, he making it about himself. It's not about the people that got shot. It's about him. So the white woman clutch her purse. Why would you be bothered by that? Were you planning on stealing her purse? If you didn't plan on stealing it, who cares? Man, it's her purse. If she wants to hang on to it, you shouldn't be bothered by it. But because you have that ego, and this idea, look, I'll tell you right now, I'm not a little black guy. I'm a big black guy. When I'm out there, I've been in elevators with white women. Maybe I'm not paying attention to this, truly, but I don't see it. You see, I don't see it. But if you're going around looking at which white woman is going to clutch her purse, why is it only white women? Or maybe is it possible that there are, are you saying some blacks snatch white people's purses? This is crazy. So these stereotypes, this stuff is perpetrated by black people themselves. So, you saying you snatching you holding on to your purse because you don't want me to steal it? Yeah. And if you are not somebody that steals purses, you shouldn't worry about that.
Ask, oh, can I help you? 15 times.
Can I ask, what is that like?
It's hell. And it's degrading.
It's disrespectful.
It's disrespectful.
And that's what we want in the first place.
I go to work every day. I don't ask anybody to do anything for me. I go to work. I take care of mine. But yet and still, I got to worry about where I walk,
Where you shop?
where I shop.
Now let's talk about something even deeper. Over, but also
policeman, you have to be fair for your life.
The fact that they glossed over the fact that this was a white nationalist terror.
I knew it was coming. So I don't know what news they are watching. He better go watch, the Caucasian News Network, CNN. Oh no, on CNN, yeah, they did say he's a terrorist, white nationalist. That's what they are looking for. CNN, MSNBC. See, these people discredit themselves. Again, I don't think they are following up stories. Oh yeah. And these people are not saying he's a white nationalist because they're pleasing you, because they have an agenda. And this person fits that criteria. So calling him a white terrorist, white nationalist helps them. Why wouldn't they call him that? They will. But again, very disconnected group of people.
Terrorist attack. It's not a hate crime. It's a terrorist attack. Let's focus on that. For some reason, they keep saying hate crime. Yeah, we know they don't like black people. We understand that. We understand the manifesto. But deep beneath it all is a terrorist domestic movement that they're doing. That's what we need to be focused on. They're targeting our people, our communities. That is the problem.
Something we were born into. We didn't ask to be black. We were just born that way.
We didn't ask to be black. So when the shooting happened in Uvalde, what about when the white people get shot? Do they say, oh man, we weren't born, we didn't ask to be born white? That means they see blackness as a handicap. They truly believe that blackness is a handicap. So remember when I said to you guys earlier in this show here that no such thing as, oh, that's a hate crime or not a hate crime. Oh no, love crime. So you are telling me this man that shot those people, he shot them in love? It didn't come from a place of hate? Are you kidding me? Anytime you hurt people, you maim people, you kill people, that comes from hate. The manifesto that he's talking about, most people, I don't think they follow the news closely. Similar to the same manifesto the shooter in New Zealand had. Coincidence? Probably. Right? Probably. But again, the shooter is definitely a deranged person. But also, don't you think you would want to know maybe who is behind it instead of just making blanket statement? But these people are operating in fear. They're not scared of other blacks, but they're scared of the whites. You know, black shooting is out of love. White shooting is out of hate or terrorism, according to them.
So why do you hate us for it?
How do you rise up from here? What do you tell the community? What do you want to come out of this? Because we're going to see something come out of this, because I looking at you guys and I'm listening to you guys and I understand your anger. I understand your pain.
He's promoting anger. If you notice now, all the, especially Democratic officials, I have never seen a time when, especially elected officials, push so much anger. So he is planting it in their subconscious that, yeah, they should be angry. I understand your anger. So he is there to incite. Why do you think he picked this group to talk to them? Why do you think? He is there to incite.
And I feel your passion here.
Here's the reality then. You know, what has to come out of this is that we have to stop being turned into the monsters. We have got to stop being vilified. We are people. You know what? I'm one of the nerdiest guys you're ever going to meet.
I'm telling you, he's making it about himself. He's about to advertise to white people that, no, man, I'm a pretty safe Negro. Watch.
I like science fiction. I like Marvel comics. I collect comic books. I'm a big freaking nerd. That's right. And I love all y'all. I wear my badge proudly. But the reality of it is, you let anybody else tell it, I'm dangerous.
So, again, the shooting is about victims. He has his grievances he wants to talk about. This is how it usually goes in these neighborhoods. The moment the white man shows up with the camera, put the mic in front of their face, they are going to tell the white man all their grievances. He wants the white man to let the other white people know he loves comic books. Please, Mr. White Man, when you see me, don't be afraid. White women, stop clutching your purses. You know, I don't know where these encounters are happening, but again, I wanted you guys to see how the narcissism works. People that are victim-minded don't care about anybody else. They only care about themselves. They think in their mind what is happening to them is only happening to them. They think their experience is the only experience in the world, nobody else. You know, they're speaking as if there's gonna, you know, people are happy that this shooter did this. But obviously he's not afraid of the shooter. He just wants, I don't know how he thinks white people see him, but he's stuck in his mind. This is the truth.
Scary. Why? Because I am not afraid to raise my voice and speak. Something will come out of this in the next 30 years. I don't want it in 30 years. Anytime soon, I doubt it.
Who was telling me that they were in the store minutes before this just happened? 10 minutes. So walk me through. He was what? He was leaving the parking lot. So 10 minutes before this all happened, you were inside that store.
I was dropping somebody off. I do Uber and Lyft part-time, so I'm literally just dropping somebody off at the store. And 10 minutes later, 10 minutes later, my phone is being blown up, asking my okay, because my family know what I do.
Right.
And I'm just like, I'm in fear, because I'm like, I was just here 10 minutes ago. That could have been me, or that could have been his brother. Like,
So
that's
what
a
do
scary
you
situation.
what do you think? I mean, what do you make of all of that? The fact that somebody came here and it could have been you.
I mean, the fact that he came here beforehand, you scoped the whole place out. Like, that's scary. Like,
So now
I just don't know, honestly. It's a family store, because if he came here to scope it out, nobody was giving him dirty looks for being in here. He's probably stuck out like a sore thumb.
That's great. Just my opinions. God bless Rose. So, okay. So he's saying it's okay to kill 20 million black babies and black on black murder, destroy neighborhoods, ruin communities as long as a white person is not inflicting the pain. We are fools. Hey, just my opinion. You couldn't have said it any better. That's literally what they are saying.
Nobody gave him dirty looks for being here. Didn't you say one of your friends bought him a Gatorade?
Yeah, you know, we actually spoke with that man on the air. The fact that he even mentioned that he wanted to give him a hug because he felt so.
And my point, this is what we're trying to say. So now, do we have to be on guard every time somebody unfamiliar is around? Do I have to be on guard every time I see a white man? Do I?
There you go. Are you on guard with the white man, putting that microphone in front of your face? What about the white people you work with? So this guy, right? He's saying this on the news. I'm sure some of his co-workers have seen this. Okay. If you work with this guy, for instance, you're a white person, and you hear this, how are you supposed to feel about this? How are you supposed to feel about it? Oh, if it was the other way around, a black shooter, and you see your white co-worker over there trying to ascribe this to every white person. Now all of a sudden, oh man, I'm scared of all the black people. You would say that's racist. That's prejudice. But not with the blacks. The blacks are justified to do it.
Have to be on guard. Do I have to go back? Do I have to revert to my time when I was in the military? Do I got to revert to that place?
So remember, he was the one that said to the white people are not, he said white people shouldn't be scared of him. He's a nerdy guy. The white women shouldn't clutch their purses. But as the conversation he's beginning to revert to who he truly is, right? So what is he even talking about? What is he talking about? He hasn't said one thing about the people that got shot. I just wanted to show you guys the narcissism of victim-minded people.
I just don't understand, like, as in our race, why are we so stereotyped? Why are we so hated? But then when you look on television, of people's of other race, you have people like, want to get their lips done. You have other
guys, trust me, what you're about to hear, you're not gonna believe this. This is what the conversation is after people got shot in this neighborhood.
The people like, of other race want to get their butt, all that past the surgery stuff. But we're so hated.
It's proven that in America, the black women do these butt surgeries more than anybody. Nobody's trying to copy the blacks like that. Blacks are doing all these surgeries, this lip stuff. But now you want to make that a black attribute. Think about it. These people are supposedly scared of the white people, the shooting, but they are way more concerned about things that makes no sense. They live in fear. They live in total fear.
But
I just don't understand that.
To answer your question earlier about what do we think is going to happen, what needs to happen is they also need to take away the scapegoats and the keywords of the people that do this. So what's going to happen is they're going to start pulling up things, oh, mental illness, oh, he was trouble. And then once that happens, everything that happened here over the weekend is going to get swept under the rug as a mental abuse. Because also what's wrong with that is the people that they say have mental abuse, all of the multiple Caucasians that do this, they live in the communities and they have all of the assistance. They have all of the resources to get that help. So if the situation was reversed and we was the ones going out doing these terrorist acts and we said we had mental abuse.
Well, the terrorist acts are taking place in Chicago and all these places. So yeah, buddy, you might want to do some research on that if you aren't aware, or somebody pass him the Afridamus channel, because I'm more than happy to bring him the news. Yes, the blacks are doing it too, sir. Even in New York City, you had a black shooter, mass shooter. You had a black that ran people over in Kenosha when the white people were marching. Just the other day, another white man on the 4th of July. You saw this over in Illinois. He shot up white people while they're doing their parade. You don't see the white people, crying like this. Evil is evil. I'm just telling you. These people speak as if white people are just gonna let some evil killer get away with it because he's white. If he's capable of doing that to any human being, period, you think rational white person is naive to think, oh no, he's just gonna do it to the blacks, he won't do it to us? It makes no sense. But you know what blows my mind? No acknowledgement about the whites that lost their life in this store. See, if you hear about it, you won't even think white person got killed there, but they did. I saw it on the news. So this makes no sense. This is the hypocrisy I talk about.
And everything, where would the support come from? Because then we would hear the other side of the story. Well, they don't have the resources to get the help for mental abuse. But you don't hear that excuse when they do it. It's just straight mental abuse and then it's swept under the rug. Take away the scapegoats, call it terrorism, call it murder, what it is. Don't come out with all these laws and stipulations in the courtroom that we never heard of before to get this person off or get lesser time or not get put in general population because they know they're gonna get taken out that way too. Stop doing that. Law.
So he's not making sense. He knows nothing about the law. So just because you don't know about it doesn't mean it's not in the books. He doesn't want, so a mass shooter, it don't matter the color. So you want them to put a mass shooter in general population. Yes, their life is in danger. But trust me, if something happens to the person, it's not going to be in vain. The government will be sued. The government is responsible for their safety in prison. This is what he doesn't know. They're not going to let this man walk. He's not going to be free. That's for sure. Some of you think going to prison, being segregated, that's just a walk in the park. No, trust me. It's not going to be a walk in the park. Unless if his mind is reformed, and be able to open his heart to love and maybe have some spiritual guidance. That's what would carry him on. Do people change? Yes, absolutely. But none of us can decide what should happen to this man. I have no ill will towards the shooter. I love the shooter as much as I love the killer, the people that got killed. Because if you think about it, what pushed that man? What pushed him to commit such a crime? What state of mind was he in? Forget about the white-black thing. Just think about a person's mind completely gone. Being able to pull that trigger and kill all those people. I'm speaking from a human perspective. I'm not speaking from all these mumbo-jumbo racial stuff, because there's black shooters. There's way more black shooters out there. Okay? We see the news. There is white shooters as well. Unfortunately, this is what it is here.
Is law. Stop coming up with new stuff on the back end. Stop taking away. Stop bringing up the scapegoats.
A lot of pain here, obviously.
Here's one last thing I like to say, and this is the other thing. If you look at the optics, when you start looking at optics and you look at how things are described, he was an 18-year-old teenager. You understand? You know, they want to take the onus from him being a grown man making a decision. That's not right. You got to remember the optics. When Mike Brown died, that was an 18-year-old man. When Philando Castile was shot in a car with his kids, with his daughter and his girlfriend, that was a man. But anytime, Dylan Roof was a troubled youth.
Kyle Rittenhouse.
Kyle Rittenhauser, he's a teenager. He's a teenager.
So they want, as long as you're a shooter, according to them, they want you to just go to prison. Kyle Rittenhouse shot those men in self-defense. In fact, the two people that were chasing him, you saw it in the video. One of them kept calling him, you know, the N-word back to back, back to back. You saw that. But this is this thing. These two things have nothing to do with each other. But because the animosity towards white people, you know, he has to, you know, bring in Kyle Rittenhouse. That's the new thing.
Not holding accountability.
And Kyle was 17, by the way. So when they said he was a teenager, they were not lying.
But yet and still, a man with his hands up, backing away from the police, takes 3 rounds in his chest because the cop was scared. Of what?
Not to mention, you got a billy club, you got mace, you have 6 things on your police belt that's not a firearm. You have professional training that you have to do weekly, and yet you aim for the head. You have professional training, which means, we was just talking about this, shoot from the elbow down, no arteries. Shoot from the knee down, no arteries. Shoot your taser, use your billy club.
So he wants to tell them how to use, you know, the guns and all that. These are lost people. If he believes that you want to really help save your neighborhood, since you don't trust the whites, you want the protection. Why ask white people for the protection? Why don't you join the police force? But no, they want to ask the white people to help them and also tell them how to shoot people.
You have all of.
He has no idea. Let him be a cop and do these things he's saying. People like to say, I even heard Joe Biden say this. Oh, shoot the person on the leg. Do you guys know how hard it is to hit a target, hit someone's leg? Do you know how hard that is? You have to shoot at center mass. So if you attack somebody, you're not responding. A cop, people are trying to shoot center mass, meaning from the neck down, you know, because that's the largest part of your body. If someone is attacking you, why would you, you have a gun, you're shooting. Why would you take impossible shots instead of shots that will work? But again, he turned it into police shooting blacks. So obviously they're not worried about the people that got killed. I didn't hear one word about them, one thing about them. They are only concerned about themselves. You know, in fact, I did some research to go to Buffalo to see, oh, maybe this is not normal there. They have lots of shootings there, and these are all in black areas. Because I thought it was like this peaceful little enclave, but it's not true. They're used to this. I mean, not this neighborhood in particular, but I'm sure these guys are very familiar with people getting shot. They know this.
These resources, but yet you go straight for the same things that you do when you hunt with your friends, because we know we're hunted as well. What's right is right, and what's wrong is wrong.
We're going to leave that, put the period at the end of the sentence there, and I think that the community now understands your pain. The community understands your grief, and the community needed to hear that.
Guys, you've heard it. I'm going to show you, you know, one quick thing here, and I should be done because I've been here like almost, it's over 3 hours. So here, the National Gun Violence Memorial. So I'm going to show you the different shootings because here, let's see. So the gun violence, for instance, you would hear, right? This, what I'm about to show you, there's lots of victims on this page here, lots of them. How come you don't hear about them? There's plenty of blacks on this here. I'll show you. And tell me, how come you're not hearing about these people? Who's killing these people? Oh, maybe are they the right color? Here we go. You guys see this? Americans shot dead on a single day. Human beings, not just statistics. So you're seeing here, these are people of all different races, but majority black. You have whites here. So I want to ask you guys a question. How come you did not hear about these people? How come? You see this? Here's another one. Black, mostly blacks. This is June 17th. So you can follow this online. And just my opinion, thank you for bringing that up. And it's definitely help in people seeing exactly what the demographic is. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you guys again for staying here with the Afridamus of 3 hours. That's good. I'll see you guys here tomorrow. Please make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. And also, people, get rid of anger. Seriously, it's not the way to go. Do not entertain people that are not for you. If people want to come and talk to you like a human being, of course, you can entertain that. But a person insulting you, you don't want to go for that. Please make sure you like and subscribe. Until next time, I will see you guys tomorrow. All right?
Entre más lejos, más feliz. Era un veneno y lo bebí. Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. Siempre sé la peli esa actriz, pero ya vamos llegando al fin. Yeah, yeah. Somos felices a distancia. Ya no aguanto tu fragancia. Tú no eres consentida, que la tienes merecida. Somos felices a distancia. Ya no aguanto tu fragancia. Tú no eres consentida, que la tienes merecida. Yeah, yeah. Cogiste la rosa y escupiste espina. Nunca será nada ni seré tu pina. Gucci, Dior, baby, te ves fina. Qué pena que sea falsa, hecha en China. De pronto no era tan malo, ni tú tan buena como tú lo creías. En los fines pa' pasar la tuya, va a la disco pa' olvidarme de ella,